My nukes, let's get the day started. Yes? Yes, we shall. Yes. So, I've been fighting with my VPN. Gave me a lot of problems trying to run a live stream for my computer. My website should have been done days ago, and I should be started in my autobiography right now. Nothing like being behind. Anyway, I just wanted to come and hang out for a few minutes. Figure out what I'm doing with myself today besides sitting at the computer even more. Yesterday, I sat at my computer all day, but I did not complete the work that I wanted to get completed. Oh, I did find something out. Guys, I want to make an announcement. Do you know that supposed Sergeant Braggs, who says his first name is Jason? I have those videos on private. All the videos where Sergeant Braggs was speaking in my chat room, those videos are all on private. So Sergeant Braggs cannot go back and delete any comments. And I can take screenshots of them. Now, Sergeant Braggs turns out to be none other than Max Spears' ex-girlfriend, SRA. Max Spears' ex-girlfriend is pretending to be a guy because she's trying to get my phone number and my home address. And then she's going to come for me. You know the girl is a fag, right? She doesn't just sleep with men. She sleeps... Let's not get into that. Max Spears' ex-girlfriend is pretending to be Sergeant Braggs on YouTube to mess with my testimony. I'm not a fraud or a fake. And when it comes, if you look at Sergeant Braggs on YouTube, it says something about Tutu, Tutu. Obviously, it's SRA. She doesn't even know who Tutu is. It's a who, not a what. And as far as the emails, hey, Max Spears' ex-girlfriend, if you're watching, now I am definitely contacting Miss Meyer's attorney and sending all of those emails to her attorney. For certain now. For certain now. And no, I'm not going to show the emails unless it's to a judge who can throw SRA behind bars. I'm not getting in trouble for the same things SRA is in trouble for. And right now she's in trouble for sexual assault and attempted murder. I want those emails she sent me in front of a judge. And I am most definitely never going to show you guys. And I'm most definitely going to give them to Miss Meyer's attorney. I think all of us should file a class action lawsuit against SRA for all of the victims that she has left in her wake. No, I'm not lying or exaggerating. And I'm not scared of her or her little whore pagan friends. You can take this to the bank. It's good. So that's who Sergeant Braggs is Max Spears' ex-girlfriend. I wonder whose picture she stole to pretend to be a dude. Anyway, I'm here. I'm just going to hide behind my icon. And so that's who Jason Sergeant Braggs is on YouTube, is Max Spears' ex-girlfriend. They were never engaged. Max never proposed to SRA. And they were not together. Max was dating another girl at the time. But SRA was so damn jealous. She came up with this lie that they were engaged. They were never engaged. Max ran to Poland to get away from her. I could see that from here. I didn't need to talk to him to see what he was doing. And I am praying hard, and I am adding fasting to it. I want everything to work out for Miss Haley Meyer in Yahusha Shem Selah. I have never met that beautiful woman. I would like to. I'd like to compliment her on her eyes and her makeup. She's pretty, beautiful lady. I've never met her, but I'm going to make sure her attorney gets everything that I've been sitting on for years. You want to subpoena me and my emails? I would be happy to go to court against Max Spear's ex-girlfriend, SRA. Subpoena me, please. Subpoena me, subpoena the emails. I've got a pinstriped outfit that's ready to go, waiting for court. I even got bells sitting right next to the outfit, so I'm ready to go. All I got to do is grab my bells and I'm there. Demons don't like bells. She's going to hate mine. So, that's my big announcement. Good morning. How are you, Jamie? I have a cousin with the name Jamie. We've lost communication, but I hope he's doing well. It's good to see you. I'm struggling with motivation, like to get things done. Like I sat at my computer all day, but do you think I lifted a finger for my website? I did stuff, but I just didn't do what I needed to do. So other than that, I'm glad to hear you're doing good. I don't really have too much to say. I just wanted to come hang out this morning with you beautiful, fine folks, because I haven't seen you in a while. I am going to do a professional video. I'll get dressed nice, and I want to do a video about the Feast of Trumpets. It's not a rapture. It has nothing to do with the rapture. When I do my video of the Feast of Trumpets, I am leaving out Jewish tradition. I'm leaving out Christian tradition. I'm leaving out tradition. Tradition does not save us. I'm going to stick to the facts of Yom Teruah and Yom Kippur. And I'm going to tell everybody, go to Abba, ask him how he wants you to celebrate it. We do not want to fall into traditions. I know this firsthand because I fell into that Jewish tradition crap. And it started to become like I was doing the Jewish traditions, thinking that if I did the Jewish traditions, then I was saved. But that's not correct. Traditions don't save us. Traditions are brought to us, are given to us, I think, in my humbled opinion, by demons. Because when people get into traditions, they forget all about taking a knee, going before Heavenly Abba Yahuwah and saying, Heavenly Abba Yahuwah, this is the Feast of Trumpets in 2025. What would you like me to do? What are we doing this year for the feast? You know, people start to rely on the traditions versus praying with fasting and going before Heavenly Abba to seek his countenance, seek his ways, seek what he wants. What's he in the mood for this year? You know, so I'm speaking from experience. Yeah. All of these things I complain about. I used to be that person, Jamie. I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to be that person that's a pushover or agreeable just so everything goes smoothly. Like, I don't want to just yes these other so-called believers to death, just be like a yes man. Because if I'm a yes man, then I'm coming into agreement with these other people and taking myself out of Abba's will. And this stuff with Charlie Kirk, oh my goodness. I'm so glad they brought up the Nicolas Cage movie. I knew I had seen that scene somewhere, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I'm bad with names. When I first became disabled, all I did was go to the library and rent movies. Movies were free. I didn't have money for cable. I watched every single movie the library had, ones with subtitles, every boring documentaries that were not up my alley. I watched every video the library had in Somerville. Then I rented every movie Morristown libraries had. I rented every movie Flemington library. I rented every movie New Jersey libraries had to watch. And when I was looking at Charlie's shooting, number one, I went into shock, physical shock. I felt like I was in physical shock. But then number two, what struck me was something just felt off. Something felt off. Something felt off. The way the bullet hit. I'm talking about the first few seconds of watching his shooting, the thoughts racing through my head. But I thought that I had seen that scene before in a movie. I thought I saw Charlie Kirk's shooting before in a movie, and it turns out to be that Nicolas Cage movie. Abba told me. I can tell you how that day went. The night before, I bumped into a video about the girl on the train. So the night before Charlie was shot, I bumped into somebody on Facebook sent me a friend request. And I was scrolling through their site. I hate that I'm terrible with names because I'd like to go back to this person's site, but I can't remember their name. There's a bunch of people on Facebook. I love your website. I love your pages, but I can't remember your name. I could tattoo it on my forehead and I still would forget it. I watched the video regarding the girl on the train. And when I saw that video, there were no descriptions to it. So all I saw was the video. I didn't have any descriptions. I didn't have anybody chirping in my ear. And I can tell you when I watched, the first thing I thought is, what am I looking at? There's nothing in his hand. There's no wounds. There's no blood. Did he take a fish line and tie it in a knot around her neck? I'm like, no, because she's not pointing to her neck. And I'm thinking, oh, wait, maybe he threw a bunch of fentanyl in her face. And that's what made her die. So the following day, when the following day comes around, I'm in shock because I already saw the girl on the train video. And I was getting upset, calling for the death penalty. And I saw how upset I was getting and my comments on Facebook. I wound up taking my Facebook post down because I was calling for the death penalty. And I'm like, Holly, get away from the computer. Do you see yourself? This is a red flag. Get away from the computer and check yourself. So as I'm away from my computer, I deleted all my posts calling for the death penalty. I started to check myself, reevaluate myself. And I'm standing there. My girlfriend Sharon sends me a text message and she goes, Charlie Kirk's been shot. Right off the bat, the still small voice says, he's not dead. So I'm looking at my cell phone. Look, I'm looking at you now, seeing that Charlie Kirk is shot, but that still small voice is saying, he's not dead. Hey, Jamie, what do I want to do this year? I want to go to the shore, Jamie. I want to go to the shore. Kathy, I'm sorry, I'm breaking up. I've never been to trauma. See, I got that too, the PTSD. I've never been to trauma therapy per se. I have been to different therapy, like Douglas Riggs, but I remember Douglas Riggs from the Dumbs. I don't know if you got somebody you trust. I would give it a shot. I don't know. Use them for their research. Use them for their techniques. Use them for their nuggets of gold. Get what you can from the person and then leave. Use them as a stepping stone. What do I want to do this year, Jamie? I want to go to the shore. I want a vacation. And I want to go to the shore. It's only an hour and a half away from me. No problem. No problem, Maya. Oh, Sweden. Oh, my goodness. If I had an opportunity, I would take it because I would want to see what the doctor says. Techniques like one person was telling me how I should cross stitch because cross stitching will use both sides of my brain. You have to focus on the stitch you're making, but then also think ahead to the next stitch you'll be making with a different color. So it uses both sides of your brain. And that can help when the MK Ultra would spin and rear its ugly head, doing something like that would help me get control of myself. I'll be honest, it took a lot of years to be able to get control of myself. But how I would do it is actually I would turn on my audio Bible and I would go and draw a picture. Whether it was just like writing Yahusha's name in pretty colors, a design, or making an actual picture, I would just listen to my Bible and I'd say, if anybody's going to help me out of this, it's going to be you, Yahusha. I'm relying on you. Work me through this. I'm coming to you. But I really never had a chance to go to trauma therapy. I did go to a counselor once, but the problem with that was I had to tell her what MK Ultra was, what a dumb was, deep underground military base, dumb. I had to tell her who Joseph Mengele was. Oh my God. And then she couldn't even talk about scripture because there was red tape. Oh, we can't talk about our Savior or faith. The hospital won't let us. Well, then what good are you? The only healing that I will ever get is only ever going to come through Yahusha, because his words are living. Miracles are still happen because his words are living. Come on, pretty girl. No, you don't want to be in the rain. No, you don't want to go in the rain either, Rumble. I was trying to melt so I didn't have to be here. That's why I was out in the rain. Oh, there go my floors being mopped and cleaned. Sure. Psalms 119 is ancient Hebrew. I got mixed up with Jewish tradition and all that stuff. I used to say Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. I rebuke myself. And I'm not supposed to have any other ones, any other mighty ones, names in my mouth. I repent, Yahuwah, in Yahusha's name, Selah. Okay, Psalms 119 is ancient Hebrew. Yahusha came in Yahuwah's name. He spoke ancient Hebrew. Now, even though Yahusha is Yahuwah in human form, and he knows all the languages because he created them, of course he knew all the other languages. But his native tongue, what he spoke, like English is my native tongue. So ancient Hebrew would be his native tongue. He did not speak Aramaic, and he did not go on over to India or anywhere else to study under any monks. He said it very clearly in scripture when he said, everything I learn is from heaven above. So therefore, he did not study under anybody. He's Alua himself in human form. He's not going to study under anybody. Now, the thing is we got a bunch of lying Jews right now that are trying to say Yahusha's Jewish. So that way, this group of Jewish people can call themselves chosen by God because they're Jewish. But it turns out Yahusha is Hebrew. He spoke ancient Hebrew. He was born through the tribe of Judah, and the tribe of Judah was Hebrew. Now, through these thousands of years, these tribes that once had bronze skin, they're not all bronze skin anymore. I know because look at me. And look at the seal he put on my forehead. I will be here to see his return. I've seen it in my dreams and known it my whole entire life. And he's told me. I've seen his return in my dreams 2 times. So when it comes to Revelation, I understand that like I know the back of my hand. When the 7th trumpet is blown, That's when he's the fifth rider on the white horse, but he's removing the tares. And it's not until a full 7-year tribulation is completely over that then he returns on a cloud. He resurrects the people that get their heads chopped off for not taking the mark of the beast. And then he gathers, it's not a rapture, he gathers the 144,000 seals and brings them over to him. He sets up his kingdom and he rules for a physical, literal 1,000 years of reign on earth. So these lying Jews, you got King James, you got Constantine, you got the current lying Jews over in the country of Israel. Well, they say our Savior was Jewish and that he spoke Aramaic, and it's BS. They also said that his name is not Yahusha, took the name Yahusha away from us, and then they gave us words like Jesus. That's not his name. There's only one name that gets rid of demons. There's only one name that cures and heals. He's only got one name. It's all of those other gods and goddesses that have 82 names or 72 names each. It's not our Savior. There's only one name that works, and it's Yahusha. And if it ain't working for you, that's because you're not using it, or maybe you don't even believe in it. Now, Jesus came in his own name. Everybody flocks to him. Jehovah came in his own name too. Everybody runs to him and believes him when he says there's a rapture. Source came in his own name. Yeshua. Jews believe that he is boiling in a vat of frying oil for lying about being our creator. So that's not his name. And whatever is said about Jesus or Yeshua or Jehovah, that stuff, you can eat pig with them. You can celebrate Christmas and Easter with them. You can do whatever the hell you want with them. You can believe in false doctrine if you want. Now, those entities tell you you'll still get into heaven. But the truth is, Yahusha came in Yahuwah's name. Everybody ignores him. He has ways. Everybody ignores those ways, and they do whatever they want. Most people make up Alua. They stuff words in his mouth and they slap his name on stuff that's not true, like false messages, false doctrine, false prophecy. Yahuwah tells us that doctrines are of demons. All doctrines are of demons. His logos is living. It's not doctrine, it's living. There's a difference between doctrines of demons versus living words. So-called believers. Oh yeah, Holly, I've been saved for 30 years. Holly, I've been saved for 60 years. But they're eating pig, they're believing in a rapture. They're not doing spiritual warfare. They're not praying for other people. They're not even renouncing and repenting in their own personal lives. They're not living right. They find out that Abba has feasts and festivals, and people go, oh, that's for the Jews. No, it's for the people that say they believe in him. Yahusha wasn't a Jew. Yahusha was Hebrew. He spoke Hebrew. The Jews today speak Yiddish. What do I know about Allah? I bind and cast Allah down in Yahusha's name. Heavenly Abba, I come before you. Get rid of Allah, its legions, its friends, and Allah's friends' legions. Get them out of here. In Yahusha's name, Selah, I don't want them anywhere near me. I can't stand the jinn. Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. They're giving you false doctrine. They sound good. They sound convincing. They're incorrect. They're not relying on Yahuwah's Ruach Kadesh. They're relying on a different force. They're wrong. They're wrong. They're relying on their traditions. And these people that say he spoke Aramaic, they call him, excuse me, Abba, they call him Yud-He-Vav-He. His name is Yahuwah. Then they say Yeshua. No, it's Yahusha. Yah. adds breath. Yahuwah. Yah adds breath. Yahuwah. YHWH is behold the hand, behold the nail. Every time we inhale and exhale air, our bodies make a sound. And that sound is the name of Yahuwah. It's not the name of G-O-D, L-O-R-D, or something else. When our hearts beat and blood swishes through the valves into each chamber of our hearts make a sound. And that sound is Yahusha. Yahusha. It's not Yeshua, it's Yahusha. YHWH is written in our DNA ladder. Its numerical value is 10565. YHSH is Yahusha. That's written in our DNA ladder. That numerical value is 10535. Nowhere in our DNA ladder is Jesus, Jehovah, Source, Yeshua, Lord, God, or Allah. None of them are written in our DNA. And when we breathe, our bodies don't say their names. And when our hearts beat, it doesn't say their names either. It matters. Okay, churches told you, oh, you can do whatever you want. Just believe in God and pray once a day and come to church once a week. You're going to hell if you are into church and churchanity. You need a relationship. Praying once a day is not having a relationship. Celebrating Christmas is living in your own ways. Again, you do not have a relationship with Yahuwah, and yes, I will question your salvation. He told me, I'll know you by your fruits. I remember this religious plastic Christian fanatical couple in Germantown, Maryland. And sadly, I still know people like them. Oh, Holly, you can't question someone's salvation. Oh, yes, I can. He told me, Yahuwah told me, I will know people by their fruits. And now here you are telling me I can't question you. Oh, now I'm going to question you harder. And your salvation is questionable. Who are you following? I follow scripture black and white for what it says because he says exactly what he means. The Old and New Testament and Apocrypha books that were hidden from us, they're the ultimate science books because in it, he tells us how he created everything. Oh, Holly, the Bible's not a science book. Oh, Holly, he doesn't really mean it when he says chop off your hand. Yes, he does. You're the problem. It's because you want Abba to talk tough, but you don't want him to back it up when it comes to you. When he says chop off your hand, he means it. He told you guys first, if you're going to keep stealing, remove yourself from the situation. If you don't have enough common sense and courtesy to remove yourself from the situation and stop stealing from people, then chop off your hand. That way you're forced to stop stealing. Because if you steal, you're not coming to heaven. That doesn't mean for the people, oh, well, I'm saved. I believe that my Savior's real. So even though I stole, that's okay. He's going to forgive my sin and I'm going to get to heaven anyway. Because all I had to do is believe in him. You got to walk the narrow path. Hey, good morning, Gina. How are you? Yes, he does, Angelina. He means it. You want some watered down doctrine, that feel-good service. He told you, remove yourself from the situation. And if you don't have enough common sense to do that and you keep going and you keep stealing, then chop off your hand. Because even if you get saved, that salvation is not does not mean you're going to heaven if you're still stealing. And if you can't stop stealing, then yeah, it's better to lose your hand in this world so you don't lose heaven in the next. He says exactly what he means. You just want him to be a powder puff, don't you? He says exactly what he means. It's everybody else that has to catch up to him. He's got ways, and to be on the narrow path, you walk in his ways. You live in his ways. You celebrate his feasts and festivals. You honor his Saturday Sabbath. You get rid of your Christmas, Easter, birthdays, New Year's, and all this other garbage. He never celebrated it, and neither should you if you say you're his kid. Yeah, I am pointing fingers at you because I know the three pointing back at me are finally clear. He told me I'm living righteously. Now, I don't know about you guys. I'm only speaking for myself. I know exactly who my husband is. It's literal in all dimensions. It's literal in all dimensions. Language is still our bio. I send you a picture of my tattoo so you can see what kind of language I'm talking about. Okay, Maya. How do you pronounce it? Because I know exactly. Oh, wow, Maya. By stealing your history. Hebrew, I said, Saviors, talked to him, right? No, he spoke, Yahusha spoke ancient Hebrew. He did not speak Aramaic. His native tongue was Hebrew, not Aramaic. Jewish tradition and lying Jews. The lying Jews teach that he spoke Aramaic. And then those same lying Jews, when they say he spoke Aramaic, they change his name over to Yud-He Vav-He and Yeshua. So no, he did not speak Aramaic. He spoke Hebrew. Abba on the throne, we call him Yahuwah. And when he came in person, we called him Yahusha. That's Hebrew. That's what he spoke. That's his name. That's how we say it. That's it. The lying Jews are the ones that told us something different. You know what? Pray with fasting and go before him, because I prayed with fasting and this is what he's been teaching me. So, you know, I don't listen to man. I learned the hard way. I used to call Yahusha until I met Jonathan Kahn. And then Jonathan Kahn said, oh, isn't that cute? You call him Yahusha. His name is really Yeshua. No, it's not. No, the Zohar, the Zionist, the Talmudist, those Jews call him by the wrong name. I'm not a lying Jew. I call him by the right name. His name is Yahusha. Period. Go ask him. He's going to tell you the same thing. I know somebody out there that says they've been a believer their whole life, like 50, 60 years. But the entity they're into is Jehovah. And Jehovah tells them the rapture is real. No, it's not. And this same person thinks, oh, it's okay because I'm saved. I know he's real. So even if I get this wrong, I'm still going to heaven. You're serving a different entity. You're into a rapture. Yahusha is not. And just because you say you believe in him or you're saved, doesn't matter, doesn't mean a damn thing. Show me your fruits. Show me what you celebrate. Do you obey the 10 Commandments? What are you doing for the Feast of Trumpets? Do you even celebrate it? You're not celebrating it? Okay. You're not living in his ways. You're not his kid. You're not his disciple. If you think you are, you're lying to yourself. I know because I used to do the same thing to myself. You got to be living in his ways. What do you do Saturday? You show up at the liquor store getting cigarettes and beer? You take your spouse out to eat on Saturdays. You make other people cook and work for you. You go out spending money. He ain't his kid. You're not his kid. I can tell by your fruits. And this is him saying, we'll know them by their fruits. Okay. But we can Estra Angelo language, and maybe it's Old Hebrew. I don't know. Okay, I could take a look. I'm not good with it. You know, Maya, maybe what you could do is take a picture of it and put it on Google and do a reverse lookup, like a picture lookup or an image lookup. Because I'm not, I don't, if my alters were still around, if I were still an active super soldier, I could help you, but I'm not possessed anymore. I don't know what I'm looking at when it comes to language. I'm lucky I can make it through English. It's just an idea, sweetheart. I can still take a look at it and maybe ask my friends. Genocide, Kirk, we must unite and put an end to all of this for once. Yes, Darius. I like your name, Darius. Thank you, Miriam. Right? Something seemed off with Braggs. Different dimensions to reality, sweetie. Yeah, Gregory. Not Gregory. Jeffrey agreed. Hey, Erin, how are you? Yeah, different dimensions. Agreed. So, excuse me a minute. I'm not trying to be rude. I can't believe it's raining, darn it. I've been up since 5:30 trying to get my tuchus in gear to go to the laundromat. I've been trying to get my butt in gear to go to the laundromat for the past 2 weeks. All right, so I'm here. I'm just not on camera. I don't feel like cooking and I'm hungry. I'm not going to gain weight by being hungry. When it comes to Sergeant Braggs, I felt like magic was done. I definitely learned something new. Because something was off with Braggs, and there were red flags. And Abba was calling my attention to it too. But now I know what it's like. I had to go through it. Yeah, so SRA can kiss off. Actually, I don't want her kissing any part of me. She can just go away. She's going to land in hell anyway. I don't make the decisions or the rules. Oh, she's coming for me too. Her 150 pounds is going to crush my 108. I'm so scared. You're calling me at 150? Listen, when she started screaming, no, no, that was not a bad trip. That was when they were arresting her. So she started flipping out so they could not take her to jail. What it forced the cops to do was give her ketamine, more free drugs, and then take her to the hospital and get a free ride in the ambulance. That's why she started screaming like that, was because they were arresting her. So she started acting all crazy, thinking if she did that, they wouldn't arrest her. Hey, Lincoln, it's good to see you. I hope everything works out for Miss Meyer, and I hope everything works out for me. I hope everything works out for SRA's other victims, and I hope SRA, as well as her pagan whore friends, are brought to justice. If not in this world, then definitely in the next. I'm counting on Yahuwah for it. I did see Paul sneaking. No. Well, to the edge of Amazon. Really? Oh, wow, Paul. A waterfall. You must feel incredible. See, that's why I'd like to go to the shore. I don't want to go anywhere else. I just want to go to the shore. Oh, so this whole Charlie Kirk thing. This was another situation. I had a clear decision. I could listen to the still small voice tell me he's not dead, just like that still small voice told me his name is Yahusha. And back in December 2014, I listened to Jonathan Cahn, and I started to switch, and I started saying Yeshua because of Jonathan Cahn and what he said to me. And meanwhile, Cahn is exactly that, a con, and wrong. Now, with Charlie Kirk, the still small voice said he's not dead. I have a choice to listen to that still small voice or be a dumbass like I was in the past and listen to man con me into dumbass lies, or I can listen to the still small voice, and I'm going to listen to the still small voice. And it was very weird because I felt shock. Even though I saw Charlie Kirk shooting and I knew Abba was telling me he's not dead, this is not real. It's a psyop, Holly, he's not dead. Even though I knew he wasn't dead, watching it still threw me in shock for a couple of days. Hang on a second, I'm still here. You're in Ecuador. Oh my goodness, I wish I was there with you. Stinky fishing town. Oh, wee fishing town. Wooden houses. No tourists. Oh, wow, Paul. Wow. I wish I could be there hanging out with you. Rainy. How are you, Rainy? And some church had this thing talking from the dead, giving advice about life. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, no. Miriam, oh my God, no. Oh no. So any like demonic entity or jinn can just go to this holographic image and start talking through it. Necromancy. This is going to get so ugly. I mean, it is ugly, but it's just going to get worse. You guys, you want to know who the new minority is? Us. The new minority is Yahusha's kids, Yahusha's people. Like actual people walking in his ways, seeking him. I mean, it took me 7 years to turn my life around and fully be living in his ways. It did not take me 7 minutes or 24 hours. It took me 7 years to go from my old life into walking in the new life. I just started celebrating his feasts and festivals in 2021, and I still feel completely clueless about them. But yeah, I turned to him in 2013, made my covenant to him in 2014, and he put that seal on my forehead, the Taw, letter Taw in the Hebrew alphabet, which means mark. Looks like a crooked T. And then 7 years later, I started it finally dawned on me. Holly, in his 10 Commandments, he says, obey the Saturday Sabbath. You hear about these high holy days. What are they? And when I found out what they were, I started keeping them too. It was just natural to do that. Like, Abba, okay, I'm obeying all 10 commandments, not just a couple, but all 10. I'm obeying the Saturday Sabbath. What are these high holy days? And I started to honor and participate in them too. And when I did that, he anointed me. If you want to get an anointing from Abba, then celebrate his feasts and festivals and be done with Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, New Year's, birthdays, and all this other crap. Hanukkah, that one day Christian Passover thing. Don't have anything to do with that. I'm telling you, walk the narrow path. Walk the narrow path. You got to live in his ways. Celebrate his Saturday Sabbath. Honor and revere and obey all 10 commandments, and honor and participate in his high holy days and his feasts and festivals. It's a pretty easy life with him. And it's cool because the Feast of Trumpets is 10 days long. What? Christmas, one day. Easter, one day. Thanksgiving, one day. Halloween, one day. New Year's, one day. His feasts and festivals are 7 days, 10 days. Come on now. Come on now. I'm not cleaning the house for 10 days. Hell no. I'm taking the whole time off. I could work, but I'm not gonna. No. Well, I'll do my website, but I don't consider my website to be work. That's my walk with Abba and my relationship with him. And same with my autobiography. I should stop saying that it's bondage, because it's my work that I'm doing with him. And, I got to put the daisy game into my autobiography, my full reintegration. There's a bunch of stories I want to write. But I'm going to go back to my first original rough draft. I'm going to go back to that. And then I'm going to build from there. Because so far I have 2 copyrights on my autobiography. I'm going to wind up with 3. So, but that just means I can let you see my work, and it's copyrighted. If you steal it, which some people have, as soon as I find the right attorney, I'm suing a ministry. There's some chick named Jerusa. She put my name in her book. I'm suing her and the publishing company. Bridge and the ministry Bridge is mixed up in. Them too. Just as soon as I find, Abba, please lead me to the right attorney in Yehusha Shem Selah. I'm serious. I know I got good cases. My cases could get an attorney to retire. Just more reason for an attorney to take my case is because they'll be able to retire early. The people that stole my copyrights make over $90,000 a year. Oh, so I'm suing them and their ministry and a publishing company, a writer, and Bridge. I need the right attorney. Do you know one? Are you one? Yeah. And just as soon as I say that, SRA, Max Spears' ex-girlfriend, pops up. Oh, I'm an attorney. Whatever. She'll pretend to be one. Abba will guide me to an attorney like he's guided me to other things. Celebrities, satanic celebrities. You mean like Douglas Riggs, but he wasn't a celebrity. But he was a minister that had a church named Morning Star. Sebastian Bach. The dude who raped me was wannabe famous. Let's see. Abba, I can't remember. I missed meeting Joan Rivers by a couple of minutes. I used to crew for Forbes hot air balloons. And I was at Forbes estate crewing. I think what happened was my mother saw all the famous people coming over to us to take a balloon ride, and she didn't want me there because I'm all the brains, looks, and talent. And she was always jealous. I know, because she also told me, and she's a rotten, mean person. Malcolm Forbes. Like really, really wealthy people I've met. I don't know. I don't really. I met, Mr. What's his name? Why is it eluding me? The lead singer from Tool, Mr. Not Leonard. What's his name again? I can't remember the lead singer from Tool's name. I can't believe that. I met him. I met some senators and I guess big time attorney like years ago. I forget his name. I don't know. I met a couple famous people. I just don't. Maynard. Thank you, Mr. Maynard. I can't believe I forgot that name. I met Mr. Maynard. Very intelligent, polite man. Well, very intelligent, and he was polite to me. He was nice. Very intelligent and nice man. That's the word. He's a nice man. He's just a real nice man. Gentleman. Intelligent gentleman. Mr. Maynard. So, I met a couple of people. Like online. Like when I came forward in 2016. I met Christopher Garantono. Thank you, Miriam. And that's things I've never thought about. Metal crystal, really? I used to be into crystals and all of that stuff. I never worshipped them or anything, but I like jewelry and stuff. But I found out I cannot sleep with crystals and stuff on. It interrupts my dreams. It's too much energy bouncing around. It disturbs me. It's like having a pea under your mattress. Did you ever hear that fairy tale story? Where they were trying to find a princess and they thought they found one and they put a pea under her mattress. And like if she had a bad night's sleep, that meant she was a princess. But if she slept and did not feel the pea, that meant she was not a princess. Well, they stacked mattresses upon mattresses upon mattresses, and she still could not sleep because that pea was underneath. Anyway. Wow, a hologram speaking, Charlie. I'd heard of this before. I was looking up online, like drone shows, like Epstein's niece coming out and talking about harassment. Right? I watched that, Epstein's niece. I've seen her before. I thought she came out a while ago online. I don't know. See, sometimes I have visions of people, and when I look back on the past, I'll remember the vision of the person, and the vision of the person always came years and years before I ever saw the person or met the person. If that makes sense. Yeah, so right now, all roads lead to Israel. They do not lead to Rome. All fingers are pointing at Israel. They're the lying Jews. They're the Khazars. They're the Khazars. And supposedly the Palestinians are actually some of the people in some of the Palestinians themselves are a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm not saying all Palestinians, but I think there's the Palestinians are really the people that come from Heavenly Abba's tribes. But those in Israel, like Bibi and his buddies, they're the lying Jews. They're the Khazars. Rothschild's own Israel. Etsy to put spells on. Oh, geez. Yeah, apparently Max Spear's ex-girlfriend goes to Etsy and buys spells to put on other people. Every day, a bunch of times a day, and I even add fasting. And I even add hallowed oil for added spiritual warfare, but I'm always praying against magic, sigil, incantations, hoodoo, voodoo, vexes, hexes, curses, rituals, sacrifices, things I don't know about. Wizardry, warlockism, witchcraft, sorcery, necromancy, Freemasonry, Luciferianism, Satanism, New Ageism, occultism, and Satanism, Luciferianism, stuff I don't know about, like that Odo cult. Abba, if any of that stuff is being done against me, my household, my relationship with you, my health, finances, my fur babies and fine feathered friends, HTV, my spiritual gifts, and me serving you, if anybody's doing any of that stuff against me and your creation and your people and your animals and what you love, I bind and cast it down and away, get it out of here. Abba, engage those people directly. Please defend me and protect me. I'm not saying defend my honor. I'm just saying, please, defend me. Don't let me get beaten up, and please protect me. Abba, engage them directly. Intervene in Yahushua Shem. I pray for your will. I pray it's in your will that you have wrath, vengeance, and anger on these people. And I pray that's in your will. And Yahushua Shem Selah. Constantly throughout the day. Because as soon as I get rid of one astral traveler, it seems like 2 seconds later, they try to come right back. I don't give them anything to hang on to. I don't sleep around like SRA sleeps around. I don't have same-sex stuff like SRA, Max Spear's ex-girlfriend has same sex. I don't do drugs. I don't break laws and drive drugs across state lines. And you know what? SRA used to accuse me of being wanted by the police for taking drugs across state lines, which was complete BS. And now I know why. It's because that's what she's been doing. And I really hope police officers and FBI get involved in Max Spear's ex-girlfriend SRA's life, because she's taking drugs across state lines and overdosing people. She's taking money and telling them how they're going to meet the love of their life, or she's taking money and saying how she can talk to their autistic kid who has no communication whatsoever. She needs to be stopped. And you know what? I think because of her attitude, I think I've confused her with someone else in the dumbs, but that's not surprising because I confused another kid that I was trafficked with, another kid being trafficked with a programmer. The faces are fuzzy. But SRA has that same attitude as that one girl in the dumbs that I remember. I think SRA is a complete liar. She was never in the dumbs and she just makes everything up. She had a normal, regular family. She never grew up on a military base. So, but she's obviously triggering me to remember another spoiled brat in the dumbs. That SRA, she was never in the dumbs. She's a complete fake fraud and liar. She was never trafficked. She had a nice, cushy life. Etsy's good. I like Etsy. eBay. No, we were talking about how on Etsy you can pay somebody to do magic against another person. You got to get the person a picture, a name, a birthday, a phone number, and you go on to Etsy and you can find a witch and pay a witch X amount of dollars for that witch to do magic on somebody else. I just lost viewers. Are you guys running to Etsy to go pay for spells? I'm teasing. But yeah, that's what it is. No, Etsy's not bad. Just maybe some things on it are. It's like, okay, the pigs are not bad. But Abba has precepts, laws, ordinances, commands, and he does want us to eat clean. But it's for our own protection. And plus, pigs are half human. We're not supposed to eat our friends. Well, that is what helped me to stop eating pig. But you know what helped me to stop eating my beloved Alaskan king crab legs and shrimp? Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh, but I'm not trying to romanticize the darkness. I do not, and what I mean by that is I do not mean to paint the bad stuff in a good light. But boy, crab legs were my favorite. What's my favorite now? Matzo crackers. I just need to go to a dentist so I can eat them. But it's just that, pigs are half human. And the other thing about pigs is it's nothing but parasites in the meat. Nothing but parasites. People worry about parasites and worms in sushi. Yeah, you got to worry about that in pig. Is that all kratom? Yes. But listen, there's a big difference between, this is actually 2 doses in one. So this is about 1.5 cups. I filled it up too much. I like to fill it up underneath the cup. And then just do shots of it. That way, throughout the rest of the day, I'm drinking water and juice and good stuff. Because I used to drink just cups of kratom tea all day long, and it's really bad for your kidneys and liver. Don't do that. I did it for years. Don't do that. My kidney and liver are fine. But anyway, like when you go to the store and you get the shoddy bottles, those things are cool because your lips go numb. But the only problem is you don't know what the hell they're putting in those little shoddy bottles that make your lips go numb. Wild-born human genes mix. Hey, Bacardi B, how are you? Yes. Okay, so what helped me to eat clean, because I used to love salami and prosciutto and bacon and Taylor ham with cheese sandwiches. Oh, man. No, pork roll and cheese. Okay. I gotta find a store that has beef salami. And I'll be okay, because I found beef bacon and I found beef and turkey sausages, so I'm surviving. But at first I felt like I was dying because for some reason I had that wall was up and I could not think, hey, Holly, there's beef bacon and beef sausages. You can eat them. I just have not found beef salami yet because I like beef salami, or I liked salami wrapped around mozzarella cheese. All right, so anyway, my friend had said, Holly, you're not supposed to eat your friends. And you don't eat bugs, do you, Holly? And I said, no. And my friend said, well, then stop eating bugs off the ocean floor. Crabs are bugs on the ocean floor. Stop eating bugs. But I repent because I'm not trying to be a wise ass. But I'll tell you, you know, that serpent, that people, I got to find in scripture where it is, but that serpent that Abba supposedly slays, and then that's what, like, we'll feast on. I can only hope it tastes like Alaskan king crab legs. Abba. Can you make that thing taste like crab legs? Yeah, I love crab too. With butter? Oh, forget it. And shrimp. Last time I ate shrimp was, I think, like 3 or 4 years ago when I went to see Angelina and Michael. And Michael was like, Holly, I cook shrimp. I know you like it. And I'm like, I eat clean now. I still ate the shrimp. He bought it and went out of his way to cook it. All right. I'm going to have to take the dog for a walk. Hang on a second. No, not just yet. Not just yet. Not yet. I'm gonna have to take you, but not yet. Not yet. Not yet. 9. Any food? Yeah, you're right, Bacardi B. Any food that is sun-grown, age regresses you. Canola oil and eating pork does the opposite. Yep. Avoiding cancer. Okay, stop, honey. Stop. Stop. I gotta take her. I said the 4-letter word, darn it. Give me a minute. We'll go. In the mornings, I've been in the habit of taking her for walks. She should go for like 4 walks a day to make sure she goes to the bathroom. Oh, look at that. Some of it's stuck. But see, like, if you go to the store and you get the tablets, the kratom, they're like 75% stronger. Like, people are having a bad time with that because they're so strong. But like what I make, the kratom, the only thing that's in my kratom is kratom water and sugar. Sometimes honey. but I don't put anything else in it. So, like, my lips don't go numb or anything. But it still works. And I like it. Plus, what doctor's going to give me pain pills? I came off them anyway. Being on pain management medication is a long, cold, dark road. I was on pain management for approximately 20 years. And then one day I decided I don't want to be on pain medicine anymore. So I quit it. I did not need a rehab. I just needed to make the decision and then follow through with the decision. And so I quit my medications January 4th of 2014, and I managed to stay off. And Abba's given me tools such as medicinal cannabis and kratom. I'm a pain management patient. Oh, speaking of which, SRA Max Spears' ex-girlfriend, Max Spears' ex-girlfriend, she took my email address and was signing me up for like kratom addicts and schizophrenics and stuff like that with my new email address. I wrote to the people saying, you didn't talk to me. You spoke to this other girl, and I don't ever want to hear from you again. And then I blocked their emails. I was like, I'm sorry you got swindled, but don't ever email me again. One group never emailed me. Another group continued to email me. Either way, I still blocked them. So I'm not dealing with that. That's the kind of crap she does. Stupid. But anyway, I'm a pain patient. I'm fully disabled. So to say, like that dumb broad, oh, you're a drug addict. I'm not a drug addict. I'm fully disabled on medication under doctor's advice, and I'm on full disability. Get the hell out of here, asshole. I don't even want to call her an asshole because sometimes I've called good people an asshole, and I don't want to drag assholes down by calling her one. £150. 150 pounds, that fat ass. And her face, she made herself look ugly. And when she takes all that Botox out, she's going to look even worse. She's an idiot. Yeah, look what money does to a person. And you still owe Taj $35,000, SRA. You need to pay him the money. None of my friends like you, SRA. None of them. The only thing me and my friends pray is that you're exposed and that you repent. And then we bind and cast your demons away. And then we tell your demons to take you with them on their way out in Yahusha Shem. I'll be back. I'll be here. Hey, Green-Eyed Mama. I know, I came to hang out finally. I'm going to get my website done. And I'm going to get my book done. I'm pushing through it. And I will get that video, The Feast of Trumpets, done as well. And I'll talk about Yom Torah and Yom Kippur. I've been fighting with my computer for the past 2 days. I could have used my cell phone and still run the video, but I'm determined to run that video on my computer and sit at my computer desk. That way I can sit there properly, look nice, and read from the 2 sources I have. Cecilia, it's great to see you, ladies and Paul, gentlemen. You're among some fine, pretty ladies, Paul. I have a feeling we're older than you, but I got pretty girlfriends. I need some preaching. I got started on it this morning, so somebody asked me a question about what Yahusha spoke. And I'm not mad at anybody. I just get very animated when I talk, and I feel very passionately. And I mean, I turned myself over to him in 2014, and I crashed and burned a bunch of times. And I don't want anybody else to have to go through the nonsense that I did if they don't have to. So I could give you the nuggets of gold and just cut to the chase, you know? This dog. Yeah. I don't know that I can take you. That's why you approach it. Thank you, Green-Eyed Mama. I was watching a gentleman this morning. I got halfway through his preaching. I want to watch it again, and I'm like, wow. I've seen him a few times before. I was supposed to go to a conference where he was at to meet him, but things fell through. A brother in Yahusha named Jamie Walden. I shared a link up on YouTube post. I got halfway through it. I was like, this sounds pretty good. I can get with this. Mm-hmm. And it just amped me up for Yahuwah more. I'm like, I want to hear my Bible. I want to draw in pictures. Mm-hmm. So you know what? By working on my website and writing my book, I'm actually spending time with him because he tells us to give our testimony. I need to finish my incomplete task. Like right now, my autobiography is an incomplete task. I want to complete it. I want to get off my lazy ass and complete it. Hi, Steve. How are you? Yeah, but I can get mouthy on my posts. I don't mean to get mouthy, but typically I'll have somebody pictured in my head, and what I really want to say and don't, I say it in a post. I'm non-confrontational. You know, it takes a lot of courage for me to say things blunt and forthcoming. But like, I don't know, after years of sometimes talking to the same people and they don't show any change, you know, I know things take time. It took me 7 years to start living in his ways. You know, at first I did not celebrate anything at all. But that was not the right way. Celebrating his feasts and festivals and revering his 10 commandments is walking on the narrow path, but we have to adhere to it and put it in a physical practice. I know it's awkward for most of you. You're probably not going to want to do it or ever do it because you got families and it's going to cause a lot of friction. The only thing I can say is maybe change your approach and go, listen, family, I'm not going to preach to you or beat you over the head, but I'm going to do things different. And I'll be happy to tell you about it, but only if you ask me. And if you don't ask me, well, if you ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to answer the question and I'm going to tell you about my day and I'm going to tell you what I'm up to. But if I'm telling you what I'm up to, don't take that as I'm beating you over the head. You're the one who asked me, how's your day? What are you doing? But I'm going to change some things in my life because I'm seeking the truth. And I think I found it. And I'm going to go with it. And I'm not celebrating Christmas anymore. And how many times I wanted to cancel it? Well, now it's canceled. For me, at least. If you don't want to do what I'm doing, that's fine. But don't get mad at me. Don't beat me over the head. I'm seeking for truth, and I think I found it. And maybe if you sought for something more than yourself, you would understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. And the only way for you to understand what I'm doing is if you seek Yahuwah for yourself. Because it's only through him and his Ruach, which is our companion now. Ruach means spirit in Hebrew. It's only through his Ruach that we get spiritual gifts and miracles. So we definitely want him as our companion so these things can keep happening. Like, so we can have spiritual gifts and miracles. With my environment right, I'm so sick of liars too. Right? Yeah, the people, I remember the dude that collapsed my lung. Excuse me that I use him as an example. 21 years is a long time. It's just, it's convenient. He couldn't be honest if you paid him. He would sit there and go, it's about loyalty and being loyal, Holly, and having loyalty. And meanwhile, he was the one that was never loyal to me. The people that squawk the loudest, whatever they're squawking about, they're missing themselves. So if they're sitting there going, oh, this is important, honesty is important, da-da-da-da-da, and you got to have it, you got to have it. Well, for him, he didn't have any of those things. And I was not about to give a finite, small, not smart, not intelligent, does really crappy carpentry work dude my loyalty. I was not going to be loyal to that. I didn't want to settle for that. I didn't want to settle for a dude that went to jail when he was 18 years old because he raped a girl, and he went to jail for 6 months, but he's got enough balls to lie and say, oh, my friend did it, but she pointed me out to the cops. I just went back to see if she was okay, but I didn't touch her. My friend raped her. It wasn't me. Whatever, dude. I know you. You raped me. Twice. That I remember. When a girl is passed out, sleeping, passed out, even on drugs or alcohol, on medicine, passed out because she's just sleeping, tired, she's been up for 2 days. Okay, that's rape. That's rape. It doesn't matter if it's your wife, girlfriend, friend, acquaintance, or stranger. That's rape. Yeah, now I'm married to the best carpenter, and he's perfect. He does such good work, too. He loves you so much, green-eyed mama. I was like, Abba, what spiritual gifts do you have to give out? I want them all, but I don't really want to be a teacher. I want that gift of prophecy. I want dreams and visions. I want sight. I want to be able to see the spirit realm. I want to be able to see what other people don't. And then I was like, Abba, I heard you got like 5 different crowns. I got time. The reason why I keep looking that way is because that's the north and that's where he sits. And I'm kind of like looking around the cabinet. I was like, you got 5 crowns? What are the requirements for each one? Because I have emptied out my life on purpose so you can fill it. Because I want you, Yahusha, to fill it. I don't want just anybody filling it. I want you, Yahusha, to fill it. And I've got time. I mean, I'm fully disabled. And I cannot sit still. I have to do something, at least if it's not exercise, which it needs to be exercise right now, to but I have to put my mind to something. So at least in these years that I've been fully disabled, at least online, I was able to get ordained, exercise my mind at least. But now that I've gotten a little better, I have to find a new primary care. But the game plan right now, the focus where I left off, the plan was focusing on my physical body and making sure I get to the gym and focusing on that aspect. And yeah, I kind of wanted a doctor to oversee that and have some accountability, but I got to find a doctor that doesn't hit on me first. Now the cat's out of the bag. You know, I ain't carrying that crap around with me. I'm not. It's not my fault he hit on me. I told him I was married to Yahusha. I told him I have a vow of celibacy. He can't take no for an answer. I'm never going back. I needed a doctor, not a date. Hey, I got this joke, though. I said to my friend Joe, I think I even said it to Shanti. I was like, hey, from drug dealers to doctors. I still got it, but I got it better than I had it before because at least I'm attracting doctors now instead of low-life drug dealers. And she can have the low-life drug dealer that'll never be able to take care of her. If he loses the current job he has now, he ain't got anything else to go with. I'll tell you, he ain't going to be like one of these big, great drug dealers that are bringing home 10 grand a month. He won't even be bringing home 500 a week from that. He'll be bringing home $50 and the rest of it will be up his nose. So, yeah, I got a perfect man. All right, I'm going to put you guys on that, and you're going to come with me when I take her for a walk. Or I could point you at the ground. Let's go for a walk. The dog wants to go. Come on, pretty girl. I made you wait long enough. I'm such a meanie. I'm such a meanie. Say, great Aunt Holly, great Grandma Holly. You're a meanie. Ooh, stop. Okay. I'm going to have to yell because she doesn't listen. And I don't want her giving me a black eye or knocking teeth out. You know what? Before I put her on that leash, I think I need a new coil. I'm not sure, though. I can't remember what I got. Yeah, self-care is a struggle. Wait. Yeah, self-care is a struggle, like to take a shower. I took a shower yesterday. I got ready. And now, like, look at me. I'm a scrub. But it took so much energy just to do that. And I remember all my life, I was always like, from the second I woke up, I'd run, take a shower, had to take a shower, had to brush my teeth, get it done and over with. And now it's such a fight to get myself in the shower. Right? All right, so I'll get it. Yeah, because it's dark. Like, I mean, I know that the liquid is dark. But I don't know. I was kind of thinking that the liquid looks like it's burned. If I'm wrong, guess the name of this knife. Take a wild guess. That's another thing. I knew something was off with Braggs when Braggs said that Aaron McCullum wanted to talk to me. I was like, I want to ride this one out because I want to find out who this is. Aaron McCullum would never say that to me. Aaron McCullum would never say anything to me. Ever. So this knife is named Aaron Off Grid. I used to have a knife named Aaron, but the Jefferson Police Department confiscated it and Moses back December 2014 when I put my social security number up on Google Plus because I had a premonition that I'd be going through something bad at one point in my life. And when I was going through it really bad, put up my social security number on, just write the social security number on the screen, on the wall, on the mirror. And so December 2014, I'm deprogramming, suicide programming kicked in. And there I am sitting at my computer. So I put up my social security number on public for everybody to see. Nothing happened from it. The police did show up at my house because of that. And then when the suicide programming and reality got to be too much, I ran to seek help from Jonathan Kahn, who has an outreach program. But instead of offering me help, he called the cops and told them to tell me to never come back again. So don't tell me that that's a man of Alua. Do not tell me that Khan is a man of Alua. I don't know what god or goddess he's under, but it's not Yahuwah. Yeah, I think I needed definitely another coil. I've met a lot of these people in person. I've looked right through a lot of these people. So when I say something about people, most of them I met in person. Yeah, see. I don't know. I think it's darker. Yeah, look how dark that is. Probably can't see it. Like, that's dark. That's a lot clearer than that. That means this coil's been burning. I'm humble, green-eyed mama. Thank you. That didn't soak long enough. We're going. Don't worry. Coil, yeah, I'm gonna let it sit because sometimes I didn't let it sit long enough, and when I took the first hit, it wound up burning the coil, and I was like, damn it. I used to hate when that would happen, and it was my last coil, because it's like, damn, I gotta wait another week till I get my disability check to go to the store to get more. All right, we're staying on top of the hill. We're not going down to the lake. All right. So I am going to do that video about the Feast of Trumpets, Yom Teruah and Yom Kippur. I'm going to explain it. Sorry I haven't done it sooner. I wanted to, but I've been fighting with my computer the past 2-3 nights. I was fighting to even do my website because my computer wouldn't let me get onto my own website. I mean, that gets frustrating and discouraging after. I could have my website done and up and running in like 5 days. But 6 days, 7 days. But I'm going to need a little more time than that. Okay, I'm coming. Hang on. All right. I'm going to put this down for a minute. Come on, pretty girl. You taking the ball? We're not going to the lake. Because if it rains, we're going to get in trouble. Uh-oh. Let's go this side. I'm impatient. I remember in December 2014, sitting in my rocking chair, staring out the window at Route 23 in Newfoundland, Heavenly Ally, for the blood of the Heavenly Ally, for the blood of the Lamb on my connection and on my device. I pray that it stays here. I pray that it does not buffer. I pray not to lose my chat room, and I pray to hang out with my beautiful, fine friends. I love them and cherish them and thank for them. All right, it doesn't matter if it doesn't have internet. It should just run off my data without giving me any problem. Okay, pretty girl, we're not going to go to the lake. 9. No, because if it rains, we'll be too far from home. Remember the day we got stuck in the rain? I don't want to get stuck in the rain. She's such a good girl. I hope I don't lose my chat room. You know what I should do is allow like Instagram to give me my messages. So if I did lose my chat room, like Green-Eyed Mama could shoot me a message and it would flash on my screen. But I only think I have that with Facebook messages. Because right now I only see Me Too. So impatient. I don't see anything else. Now I'm thinking I lost my chat room. I think I lost it. I think I should refresh my thing. Okay, I'm going to spiral again because I'm going to refresh my screen because I think I lost my chat room. I'll be back. Oh, wait, no. Okay, I see it. It's only every other word. Hey, good morning, Susan. Thank you, Green-Eyed Mama. All right, so I don't have to do anything. It's good to see you, Susan. How you doing? Just hiking the doggo. Hiking the doggo. Zigzags across the street. Gotta love it. I don't want you getting too far ahead of me because if you see a squirrel or something else, yeah, okay, they go flying behind you. You're hungry again. Eating okay. Alf. Oh my gosh, I remember when that show came out. I was in junior high. I was in William Ann middle school, getting detentions for laughing too much in class. One love. Romans 13:8. I used to do jigsaw puzzles. Like when my mother met my stepdad, he lived in Denellen, and his dining room table was just jigsaw puzzles, like the big kinds. We'd get like 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles. It would take us like 3-4 months to put one puzzle together. I had one of the constellation. That was hard to put together because the whole thing was black. I wanted to put glue on it and then put it in a frame, but that never happened. Transplanting my money tree. Oh, awesome, Susan. I palal for you. Palal means pray in Hebrew, but I don't want to say the word pray because, like, you know, pray, preyed upon, predators get prey. I'll palal for you. That sounds better. I palal that you get huge interest returns on your money and that you're provided for, Susan. I don't have any money. There's one lady. I got to find out who she is. And don't pull. Because when I was walking Casey, we went by this one neighbor's yard. And, you know, like we just went past bushes like that. Well, anyway, we walked past this one area that had bushes and it had a lot of clover. I basically weeded the woman's garden from all of the clover. I made her garden look great. I was looking for clover because the chickens eat it. And when I went past her house, her garden was like right next to the road. If we go past it, I'll show you. But I cleaned her whole thing out and made it look nice because I took all the clover away. I left the other weeds, but there was a lot of clover. I went back 2 times to get clover because she had so much in her garden. Oh, wait, don't go too far. This is someone's property, honey. Only good cat is a... Hey! Come on. You really have to go. All right. I keep reminding the homeowner that we need bags. And I think he keeps forgetting them. But every time I go in the grocery store, I get those little bags for the fruits. They're so skinny, but they do work. Anyway, today I got a real bag. Hang on a second. Jeez. Just stay. And you have to get your ball, too. Okay, I got everything. I got it all. Okay. Excuse me. Doggy doo-doo patrol. Hello, Ale. Ezekiel 37:3. John 14:6. I don't have these passages memorized by any means. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're telling me. I definitely need bags. Yeah, there's still dirt roads in New Jersey. And New York. She always carries a toy in her mouth. She's like high energy, high anxiety. Oh, Susan, I was brought with... Listen, we're not supposed to celebrate birthdays, and everybody gets that, but we'll just say for the Feast of Trumpets, one person got me a book regarding the feasts so I could understand them better, but another person made a walking stick. It was not made purposely for my birthday or as a birthday present. It was just made for me. And I'm really humbled. When we get back to the house, I'll show you. Because when I got the walking stick, I was also offered that they have like a burning tool. So if I want to etch a design or words into it, they would be happy to do it for me. I kind of want to do it myself. Just because I want to do it. Oh, yeah, this is... Wait, don't go anywhere. Come here. Come here, Casey. So, like, along here, remember I told you I picked all that clover, and I made the lady's garden look much, much better. This is where I picked it. I picked it all in through here. I left some of the other weeds, but, like, I picked so much clover that you can actually see that there's rocks underneath there. Big, big rocks. But, yeah, I left a little bit of clover, but... I hope you have a great day too, Alf. It's nice talking to you. I liked you since junior high, Alf. When I was stuck grounded on detention, I would watch you. Actually, no, my biological mother was a cunt. She was a shrew. She would not let me watch Alf. And the worst thing I did in school was laugh a little too hard. I was a good kid growing up. I didn't do drugs until I was in my 20s. I didn't. Like, I was always a good kid. It was not until I started working full time, started making money, bought a reliable car, I was never allowed to I was never allowed to be a kid when I was a kid. In this normal life, I'm not even talking about being a super soldier. In this normal life, I was saddled with my sister. Well, what happened with that is I formed a mother-daughter bond with her. And, well, we don't have that bond anymore. When she got a little older and I was not living in their house, because I had lived with them for a short period of time. When she was born, I was saddled with her. And half the time that I was at my grandmother's house, I had my sister with me and I took care of her. Because she was with me. I had that kid so much that when I went to the mall with my sister, other adults would ask me, "Is that your daughter?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm like only 15. She's 4 years old." They're like, "That doesn't mean anything." They're like, "Wow, the way you are with her." And my sister would call me mom. And I had that mother-daughter bond with my sister, but when she got older, like even when I was in college, I would leave college and go pick her up off the bus and stay with her until my parents got home. So I know what it's like to have a kid and raise a kid. And I know what it's like to lose one. And not even to death. Just lose one to the world. Because I used to tell her all the time, if I had a kid, I'd want her to be just like you. Pretty and smart, outgoing, get up on stage in front of a bunch of people and sing in a microphone when you are not a singer. You still do it anyway, having a great time. I'm not a singer either, but I send my friends singing telegrams. Like Stevie Wonder, I just called to say I love you, but thrash metal style. I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I just called to say I love you. Alright, I can't do thrash metal style because neighbors are home and I would not want to alienate them in their own home on their own property. But you gotta get the I love you, and I mean it from. See, Alf's making me cry. Alf's making me do my singing telegrams. I haven't done a singing telegram in probably a year and a half. Just out of the blue, I put you guys up. Find a song and sing it to you on your message. Because a lot of times I don't know what to say. I don't really have anything to say. I kind of feel like you guys know it already. But I can leave you a singing telegram. All right, I don't know about the Bears. And I don't know that I think this is somebody's driveway. I don't know, though. I've never walked down past this point. This might not. I don't have any weapons. I mean, I got a knife on me, but that's not going to be anything for a bear attack. I didn't bring anything with me. I think this is actually someone's driveway. Because down there I see a car. But then again, on the other dirt road, it looks the same way. There's a car at the end, but if you keep going, it winds up to be a road. And there's just a car parked on the side of the road. Oh, maybe I'll stop. Come on, we're going to turn around. Pretty girl. We're going to go back, pretty girl. I need a spear. Yeah, oh, with my walking stick. That's what I didn't finish saying. So the walking stick was made just for me. But it was given to me, you know, a couple of days around my birthday. And I was just talking. I didn't mean anything by it, but I was like, ooh, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get one of those copper fittings. The copper end fittings, and I'm going to put it on the bottom of this walking cane. That way when I walk with it, I can still ground. And then I was like, ooh, I wish I knew how to like carve wood, because at the top of the walking stick, I could take it and turn it into a knife, so you could just pull out the top and then have an instant knife, but you wouldn't know it, because like if you use the top of the walking cane to be the handle and then add the knife part, I would have loved that. So anyway, the gentleman that made the walking stick, he took it and he put one of those copper fittings on the bottom of it. He even put in copper nails and glued it in. So now when I'm standing there holding my walking stick, I'm still grounding. And I'll tell you, I can actually feel that energy. I can actually feel that energy. It's ever so slight, but it's there. When I kick off my shoes and stand on the ground, I can feel it up to my knees, the energy exchange, the grounding. You know, I'm more sensitive to these things in my older age than I think I was in my 20s and 30s. I had youth on my side then, and now that I'm older, I'm not old, I'm aging. But I think I've become more sensitive. But then again, honestly, I wanted that. And this is the thing I have to remind myself. I remember running these holyathons back in like 2020, 2021, 2022. And I would always say, I want to be so close with Yahusha, my golden bow, that I won't know where I end and he begins, or where I begin and he ends. I just want to be so close to him and all about him that I don't see the line between me and him anymore. Like I wanted to, hi Bob, how are you? Thank you. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. He showed me the fabric of the universe, Alf. It's in one of my drawings. My website's almost done. I got to put up 125 descriptions, add a few more broadcasts that I did with Spirit Force. And then after that, I'm sending out letters to land interviews. And then after that, I will finalize my autobiography, which the deadline is September 30th, but I'm going to have to push it back. But let me get to September 30th and see at that point where I stand. I'm only going to have 2 weeks after that. And my book has to be done, needs to be done. I want it done. So, all right, come this way so I don't have to walk in there. You smell something, don't you? Yeah, this time of season, the bears get hungry right before hibernating. Somebody already decorated their entire place with Halloween decorations. This is somebody's driveway. This has got to be somebody's driveway. Like these roads, you don't know if it's somebody's driveway or an actual road. Like, seriously. Remembering to say the correct words. Well, like he says, and don't get mad at me, I had to learn it, and it took me a long time. You know, I've been at this since 2014. But even if you... Okay, if you take away waking up from MK Ultra, I fully reintegrated December 2022. But the whole time, I spent my time reprogramming myself to him and his living words. So I spent time with him, so I only know how to be with him. Other super soldiers, they went into like the esoteric world, and so they know a lot about that stuff. You know, there's Commander with his Saturn ritual and shiny clothing. Well, I don't know that stuff. I know Yahusha. So if you want a whiz at Yahusha, that's where I spent all my time. So, but the words, he says it. Do not have other mighty ones' names in our mouth. Because when I say Cecilia and Alf and Bob and Green-Eyed Mama and Joe, when I say your names, Rainy, when I say your names, I'm honoring you. And I'm speaking your name, so you obviously mean something to me. Like, for instance, the dude that collapsed my lung. Right near my 44th birthday, September 2018. Or the dude that raped me after Russ Dizdar conference when I was sick in bed with a really bad asthma attack, and I should have been at the hospital, but nobody at Sky High would call 911. And when I got home, the person who told me would take care of me did not take care of me. Instead, they waited until I was knocked out on Benadryl. And then I woke up with the dude on top of me raping me, and he held me down until he was finished. And then when he was finished, he said, "Hey, babe, what I did was rape. I saw what I wanted and I took it. Forgive me, babe." I was reaching for my knife under the table, but when he said forgive, well, I forgave him, but I should have just gotten up and called 911 right there, bare naked and all, and just said, "I've been raped right now. Please come to my house." Because then once I forgave him, I sat there. I had too much time. I sat there thinking, oh my God, the cops aren't going to believe me. What am I going to do? I can't believe this just happened. And I already need to be at the hospital from this asthma attack. I just got home from a conference and found out these people are not good people. They might say they are, but I asked a whole bunch of them to call 911, and not a damn person would call 911. They handed me a witch named Stephanie instead. And I'm not a liar, and I don't bear false witness, and I don't lie about other people. I'm not a liar. Abba would not have put his mark on my forehead if I was a liar. He would not have done that. And when I tell you that a ministry backed Bill Barr, when Bill Barr back in 2020, 2021, some ministry, I think, showed up at his house praying for him, laying hands on him. And then the ministry said, hey, here's his address, write him and show him support. Now all of a sudden, a month ago, that same ministry wants to nicely ask Bill Barr to do something or other. I don't bear false witness on anybody. I don't lie about people. That ministry lies about people, because Reggie said that I summoned a demon and sent it after Stephanie. But Stephanie gave her testimony and said the garage door had been broken for a long time. And she kept telling her boyfriend, who owns the house, to fix it, fix it, fix it. He didn't. But it was a good thing that I happened to be there, because the day I was there, the garage door came down. And if it had come down onto her, at least I would have been there to call 911 and help lift up the garage door to get her out. But no, they turned it around. Reggie turns it around and says that I'm summoning demons to kill people. I got the text messages. I've got the messages that she was sending out about me behind my back. If you want the truth, you just come here. I'll give it to you. I've been building up confidence. I will speak the truth. I'll speak the truth. You can ask me about other people. I get phone calls all the time. Holly, what do you think about so-and-so? And I'll be like, it's a good thing I've been on the scene for a long time. Even though COVID shut me down from doing speaking engagements, I was still watching people, and I still know who's on the scene. I've met a lot of people. I've been around the block. There's a few blocks that even I created. More than that, I'll be honest, I have spiritual gifts, so I can see the spirit realm playing out above everybody's head. If you say you're a believer in Yahuwah, all I have to do is say, Abba, I repent for my sins. I'm seeking correction on known and unknown things that I've done wrong. I'm seeking to live a righteous life. Abba, show me this person. Who are they? They say they worship you. Are they really into you? Or are they into your imposters? Do they do spiritual warfare? Do they have an umbilical cord to you? Show me who this person is. Are they really in you like they say they are? Honestly, half the time, no. So 50% of the time, no. They're just saying they're into Yahuwah. They're not living for him. The other 45% of the time, they're basically sitting on the fence. I can see that the person loves him dearly, but their actions show that they are Luciferian, a Satanist, a Freemason, a fence sitter. They celebrate Christmas and Easter, or they don't celebrate anything at all. And we need to be participating in his feasts and festivals. And when I run the video later today about the Feast of Trumpets, Yom Teruah and Yom Kippur, I don't want to have a condemning voice at all. But everybody's going to say, oh, you're fire and brimstone. Anyway, they're going to say that anyway. But I want to invite people to join us. Sincerely join us. If you guys are seeking him, it's not too late to sincerely, genuinely join us. Seek his presence. Be in his presence. It's not too late. The festival is not over. It ends October 2nd. And actually, that is the most important part of the Feast of Trumpets, is that 25-hour fast. That 25-hour fast is commanded that we do that once a year, because what we're doing is we're purging ourselves of the bad stuff. We're repenting, we're purifying, we're atoning. No, case. There's traditions. I don't want to get into the tradition, but I will. So that way we all know where it comes from. There's a tradition. The Jews have a tradition that says this Feast of Trumpets is when Abba writes our name in the Lamb's Book of Life. So it's at this time of year that you want to purify yourself and atone and give him reason to write your name in the Book of Life. That's a Jewish tradition. That's not what Yahuwah says. Now I've gotten swept away with the traditions I've told you. Basically, the Feast of Trumpets is welcoming the King. I think that Yahusha was born during the Feast of Trumpets and not in April, the beginning of the year, during the Feast of Unleavened Bread, First Fruits with the Passover meal. How I've understood it is September 11th is my Golden Bow's birthday. September 12th is mine. And I did not draw him a birthday card this year. I did not make him a present yet this year. September's almost over. I better draw him a picture for my 51st birthday and ask him for another year with him. Anyway, I celebrate my anniversaries and his feasts and festivals and the Saturday Sabbath. I've got like 15 anniversaries with him. We wrote my book together and published that twice. I've gotten baptized by water and fire. My fire baptism, I think, was 11/11/2018. No, actually, it wasn't. My fire baptism was May 17th of 2014 when I was sitting on that rock up in Kennebunkport, Maine, taking those selfies, and I got that photograph with his taw. Taw is a Hebrew letter. And then 11 months later, I got a second set of flash photos, and in it, there was a taw again and a yod. Or you could say X marks the spot, because a yod kind of looks like a spot or a comma. And the taw looks like a T or a crooked cross. But a yod and taw together means divine mark. And I want to see his return. I want to see his return. I love him so much. And I died. If he didn't bring me back in March 2007, I'd be in hell right now. That's another reason why I definitely want to talk. I don't want anybody's blood on my head. Anytime you guys want to talk about Revelation, please. Bill, hello. Alf is back. Knock, knock. Who's there? John 10. John 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahuwah, and the Word was Yahuwah. And I don't remember the rest of that paragraph. Look, oh my gosh, look at this one. You want to see some decorations? This might be where Oktoberfest is being held. I'm not sure. Wait a second. Look. Look at that. There's another house at the bottom of the big hill that's got one that I think might be maybe the same size or maybe it's bigger. I'm not sure. But there's another house that's all decorated. It's not even October yet. So, like if you have kids, you know, you can make a shofar, a homemade shofar, and you could have them make crowns, like a king or queen's crown. And the Feast of Trumpets is welcoming a king with, like, the shofar blasts can be, the blast itself is to grab your attention. It could be a cry. It could be a battle cry. But the shofar blowing is to get your attention, to make an announcement. And it's during this feast that Yahusha will return. I think he was born during this feast because he was crucified during the Feast of Unleavened Bread, first fruits with the Passover meal, which is in April, the beginning of the new year. We've all been programmed to be used to celebrating the new year in winter, you know. But I love Revelation. You, dear children, are from Abba and have overcome them, because the word who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. Selah. I pray that more people would rely on him. You know, I see what happened to me because I told you I got swept away with the girl on the train and then the shooting with Charlie Kirk. And I saw, even once Yahuwah said he's not dead, and I saw the shooting, my body still felt shock. We have to rely on Yahuwah now more than ever. I think this is part of the strong delusion. I mean, personally, I was thinking when scripture says the strong delusion will be sent out, people don't love the truth, so Abba sends them strong delusion, and they go for the strong delusion. And when they do, they damn themselves. I was always thinking, oh, well, wait, Project Bluebeam. Let's see Project Bluebeam. No. The strong deception or the strong delusion that Abba's hand pushes out, I think it starts with these shootings. It's strong delusion. We're being told they're shooters, and meanwhile, it's them doing it. Okay, people are like, oh, so-and-so just got shot. The people saying, oh, so-and-so just got shot are the very people that are doing the shooting. And it turns out that Charlie's, they used a projector that projects holograms, a holographic projector. Anyway, we need to rely on Yahuwah, but I was always thinking, okay, when we see Jesus in the sky with all of these other gods hanging out and everybody's a buddy. No, we're not going to go hiking in here. Come on, Case. I was thinking to myself, you know, like, I'll just wait for that. Not that I'll wait for that, but, oh, that'll be the strong delusion is when I see that. No. I'm thinking that, like what we saw with Charlie, the girl on the train, and these other shootings, I think this is part of the strong delusion that Yahuwah sends out. And think about it, guys, the ushering in of the New World Order, I call the Fourth Reich Rising, it's going to be a lot of bloodshed. Whenever a new power comes into control, it's always done with a lot of bloodshed. And this is the Fourth Reich Rising. I don't think there's going to be any 3 days of darkness. There's not going to be a rapture. If there is any darkness, I think it'll be during the 7-year tribulation, and it'll be a lot more than just 3 days. I got my eye on the Shemitah. Heavenly Abba gives me dreams and visions. And back in 2013 and 2014, he gave me a ton of dreams and visions. And I began drawing them in 2014 and 15, but I still draw to date. Anyway, he showed me that after one of my birthdays in the dream vision, he's given me so much of them, it's hard to keep them straight. He gave me a vision where I was sitting at the table with 5 people, at my table at my house, sitting with 5 people. I blow the candles out. So obviously in this vision, by me blowing the candles out, number one, I know it's my birthday. He's not telling me, oh, Holly, you're going to celebrate a pagan birthday. No. In the vision, it's me sitting at the table with 5 other people. I blow out my candles. As soon as we're done eating the cake, come on, Casey. As soon as we're done eating the cake, I put away the dishes and everybody gets out their weapons. Come on, Casey. Everybody gets out their weapons and starts cleaning them and getting them loaded, sharpening their knives. Will you please walk? What is with you? So, but everybody gets out their weapons and starts getting them ready. And I even start getting ready for literal war. I put on the bulletproof vest, the helmet. I'm getting geared up in combat gear. And then the vision ends. So right there, it tells me, okay, Holly, your birthday's September 12th. So whenever this tribulation kicks off, it's going to be around one of your birthdays. So every birthday since 2014, I'm like, Abba, is it this year? Is it now? Is it going to start now? He told us nobody knows the time or date, but we'll know the season. September. I always think of my birthday as being in the fall. So there's your season, fall season. Come on, Case. I don't know why you're just hanging out, but come on. Come on. There could be a bear. There could be 4 babies with it. They took out it. The 4 baby bears took out the homeowner's deer stand. Freeman Church. Yeah, did you hear about it? That look at End Time Productions. I know a couple of people have talked about it, but it's just I can remember End Time Productions' name. They talk about that movie with Nicolas Cage, and I want to finish watching End Time Productions video about that. But Charlie Kirkland was shot in the neck on that movie. Charlie Kirkland was shot in the neck on that movie. I remember watching that movie. Predictive programming, but the aliens, when I was a little kid and PAN would come and sit at my bedside and talk to me, he would say things like how if he could just get somebody to change their mind ever so slightly, it doesn't matter about what the topic is, any topic, but if he could get somebody to change their opinion ever so slightly, over time, it would make a great, huge difference. Well, over the course of my life, I've gone to see traditional families be ruined and turned into, broken families. People just have kids out of wedlock. They don't bother getting married. When they do find out they're pregnant, they just sleep around. You've got women with kids from 3, 4, 5 different men. I could have very well have been one of those women. So I'm not trying to pass judgment on anybody, but that's not good. It's not good. You know why? Because when a woman submits to her husband and they have a child together, she's taking in his genes and she's taking in his DNA. And that changes a woman. It changes her appearance. And then she gives birth to his kids. So think about it. These women that have a bunch of kids with different men, they have a bunch of different men's genes and genetics inside their body. You never want to have, you just don't want to have sex with someone unless you're married and in a relationship with them. Come on, get out of the street. It's a very intimate, personal thing. And, in the dumbs, they used it as a weapon, that soul tie that people get. And you can make a soul tie on somebody as simple as, hey, a peck of, like what the fucking doctor did to me last month. That fucking asshole. A simple peck on the lips, or somebody kissing you on the neck, or touching your hand, hugging you, that sets up a tie. It sets up a cord. When you have sex with someone, when you make out with another person, you're setting up a soul tie. Heavenly Abba, I come before you. I lift up me to you. I pour the blood of the Lamb on me, and I repent for my sins, not known and unknown. Heavenly Abba, please break, crush, and disintegrate through the blood of the Lamb any cords, attachments, bonds, doors or windows being opened, or stumbling blocks that icky, yucky doctor tried to set up on me when he hit on me. Crush all of those things through the blood of the Lamb. I ask, please, in Yahushua Shem Selah. I don't want anything to do with him. I'm never going back. And now I got to find a new doctor. I hope I like the one I'm going to. I hope I like him. I've never been treated like that by a doctor. And I was already having problems with doctors because the hospitals were mistreating me. And I don't know why I've been so scared to say anything. I kick myself in the ass. I should have said something right then and there. I should have kneed him in the balls. I should have knocked his teeth in the back of his throat like I wanted to. And I'm disappointed in myself that I did not. I'm having a delayed reaction, and my delayed reaction is the same as my initial reaction. Anger. And if he ever touches me again, I am breaking his hands and wrists so he can never touch me again. I mean, you would have thought that he was never around a woman with the way he looked at me. I need somebody I can trust who's going to treat my health. No, I don't like human arguments. I don't like when I'm trying to talk to somebody and all they do is take my own words and then throw my words in my face. And it's like, I've said that those are things I say. You can't throw my words in my face. There was this one woman, Debbie. I will have nothing to do with her. I can't. I can't. She's demonically possessed, and anything that she sends me or whatever, I never open because I do not want the demons getting at me again. And I've heard stories where people Jamie Walden, he has a story where he says something to the effect of, he had received an email from, I think, a Satanist or Luciferian. And when he opened up the email, or it could have been like somebody pretending to be a believer. I don't know the circumstances. I forget the details. But anyway, he received an email. He opened it up. And when he was reading it, he got to a certain part, a certain phrase. And when he read that phrase, all of a sudden, I bind and cast that down in Yahushua Shem. Heavenly Abba, I bind and cast away the entities people use to astral travel, astral project, remote view, send telepathic messages, satanically surveil, and send demons out after me. Abba, please send down your warring angels and escort this person off my property and slam them back in their body along with anything that they brought with them in Yahushua's name. Abba, please engage them directly for what they're doing. I bind and cast down witchcraft, wizardry, warlockism, Satanism, necromancy, spells, magic. People like SRA going on to Etsy to pay others to do magic spells. If they do magic spells against me, Abba, may you engage them directly, and may you let them know who you are. If they come seeking me to give me problems, may they only find you, Heavenly Abba. In Yahushua Shem Selah. All right, and what I should do is go and figure out what the heck I'm doing with my day. I gotta put myself on. All right, I'm gonna have to figure out food because I woke up, I felt like hunger pains for a couple of minutes, but then they just went away. So I'm gonna have to make myself eat. And after that, I need to go so I can finish my website, hollybaglio.com. It's not finished, okay? I have 125 descriptions to upload, some links to broadcasts I've done. I have to rearrange one of the pages. Like I have to rearrange my photos, and I have actually about 5 more photos to upload. And then I'm like 4 more hours, and then I'll be done with my website. 4 hours, maybe a day, maybe 6 hours. I have half of the descriptions already written out. I have to upload, like I said, 5 more pictures, rearrange the page, my bubble page. I have to rearrange my bubble page, upload the descriptions, and then everything's done. And I can launch my website. And then I am going to have people write reviews for me. But I'm going to be very careful who I ask to write a review for me. Like that, I can say, hey, give me a picture of yourself, your name, your ministry, and let me put up on my website a review that you write about me. You know, it sucks because I had this one friend a long time ago, but she used to play a lot of games with me, and I'm not somebody to play games with. I don't play well with others. I don't play most of the, I just don't play. And if I do play, I don't play well with others. But this girl would always use her famous friends against me. And then one day what happened was she blocked me. And when she did that, it took down all the work that I had done for her and deleted it and blocked it. So it was no longer, I wrote out like a 2-page essay on, she was going through a hard time living at her sister's house, and she was going through elderly abuse, and she had to move out, go to like a safe house, like a battered woman's house, even though it was elderly abuse. And she had to stay there until a place opened up for her. And she hated being in the shelter, but she had a place to go. And she was the only one at the shelter that got her own room, but yet the woman's still bitching. And then she got her own place. Well, I wrote out a 2-page essay because when I went before Abba told me, okay, Holly, she's going to be out of her sister's house in, I forget the exact amount of time. So in 3 weeks, she's going to be in a safe house. Or no, she's going to be out of her current house in 3 months. She's going to be in a safe house for 6 months. And then she's going to get her very own apartment. So it's only going to be a total of 9 months. So I turned around and I told Claudette, I was like, you're going to be out of here in 3 months. You're going to be in there for 6 months, and then you're going to get your own place. So all in all, it's going to be 9 months in total. And this is how it's going to happen. This is what Abba showed me when I lifted you up to him and I prayed for your current living situation. This is what he showed me about you. And she was right there. We were praying together. We were on the phone. I was like, well, hey, let me pray for you right now. Heavenly Abba, I come before you. I lift up Claudette. I lift up myself. And he told me the message. And that's what happens is I go before him. If it's in his will, he tells me. If it's not in his will, then he's quiet. So, yeah. But when she blocked me, it took down that whole essay and everything else. And I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm not doing this back and forth. I cannot do that. I'm not going to do it. I don't take this from other people. And that's it. So, yes, Abba does give me exact time frames. And then sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes people want to know stuff, but Abba wants to talk about something else. And those people don't want to hear it. They just want to talk about what they want to talk about. They don't want to talk about what's important to Yahuwah. So there's always that problem, bumping into that problem. But yeah, so but see, when you have a relationship with Yahuwah, you have spiritual gifts. So for somebody to go, Holly, I don't have spiritual gifts. Well, are you sure you got a relationship with Yahuwah then? Maybe you're living in sin and there's sin you have not repented for. You got to walk in his ways. I mean, Satan has psychic abilities. I've seen so-called believers say they've got gifts, but they don't have spiritual gifts from Yahuwah. They have Satan giving them psychic abilities, but they're not praying with fasting to bind and cast away principalities and legions. And the only way to get rid of legions is with the only way to get rid of principalities that have legions is with fasting. If you don't fast, you cannot bind and cast them away. You get some of these people that go, oh, I'm feeling bloated, so I'm going to fast because I'm feeling bloated. Oh, but I'll tack Yahuwah onto it. And it's like, no, if you're going to fast, then you fast for him. You don't fast because you're bloated and then say, oh, well, yeah, I'm also doing it for Abba. No. It's either for him or it's not for him. I've seen so-called believers try to buy spiritual gifts. I kid you not, the religious plastic fanatical couple in Germantown, Maryland. Oh, Holly, if I give you money, then I'll get your dreams and visions. That's a prophet's reward. I was like, it does not work like that. There's a story in the Bible about that. You can't buy the baptism of the Holy Spirit with money. You can't buy spiritual gifts. Abba rebuke you. And I'll tell you, that lady and her husband, they're never going to have spiritual gifts because she'll never repent for it. She's too egotistical and arrogant. She's too much into her religion and churchianity. And she'll never have spiritual gifts from Heavenly Abba Yahuwah. I even told her too. I'm like, you're into false doctrine and you're believing in lies, which means you're not believing in the truth. You're telling everybody else these lies. You're not going to be resurrected to everlasting life. And I even told her straight out, I was like, Heidi, I don't want your blood on my head. So I'm going to be real honest. You are religious. You're believing in false doctrine and false prophecy. I don't want your blood on my head. You're not my sibling in Christ. Who you're listening to is not the same Alua as I'm listening to. I know you want to say it's the same Alua, but no. Satan is the one that says, hey, live however you want, live how thou wilt, and get into heaven. And what do you have people do nowadays? Oh, yeah, Holly, I believe in God, but I don't adhere to the Bible. Well, if you don't adhere to it or put it into practice, you're not getting into heaven. Oh, Holly, I told Abba I'd be happy with standing room only. Yeah. Well, here's the thing about heaven. There is no standing room. How do we know that? Because when Yahusha was dying on the crucifix for all the world's sins, and the thief, the one other person that was being crucified, repented while the second one did not. But I think it was the thief. He repented, and Yahusha said, my father's house has many mansions. When I go, or my father's mansion has many rooms. When I go there, I will build you a room. I will remember you before my father. Okay, so right there's no standing room only. He gives out crowns, and for each crown, there's prerequisites to get that crown. And if you're not living like that, then you're not going to get any one of those crowns. We have to live in his ways. We have to live in his ways. And that's where people go wrong all the time, because they don't live in his ways. They do whatever they want to do and say, oh, but Holly, we're just used to celebrating Christmas. And that's when the family has off work. And that's when the family gets together. What about Yahuwah and what he wants? He tells us that we will know a person by their fruits, and someone like that is not a child of Yahuwah, even though they say they're saved, even though they say they believe. And it's just the truth. And for you new believers or returning believers, like Green-Eyed Mama, you're, I guess, the new believer. The world is going to be so confusing for you, because you're going to be like, wait a minute. These people are preaching the gospel, but they're not living it. They eat pig. They're into false doctrine like the rapture, or, they're into Jewish tradition. And that's not Yahuwah's ways. That's just not him. Like on Judgment Day, people go say, oh, Yahuwah, I did this for you and I did that. And he turns around and he goes, I never knew you. I never knew you. Just because you were saying my name, or you think you were saying my name, does not mean I heard your prayer. You're living like a Freemason. You're celebrating Christmas just like they do. You're living just like a Luciferian Satanist. You're celebrating Halloween just like they do. And although you're not killing babies and eating them, you're still celebrating the same holidays they are. So there's no difference between you and them, even though you're not killing and eating babies. You're still partaking in those same holidays. When he looks down on his throne on Easter, he's not going to see Green-Eyed Mama, Alf, or myself. Hopefully not Alf. I'm just assuming. He's not going to see us celebrating Christmas or Easter. Now, when it comes to the Feast of Trumpets and he looks down, he's going to see all the world doing what all the world wants to do. But his kids, his servants, his disciples, his children, his people, his prophets, his servants, his disciples, his children, they're going to be celebrating the Feast of Trumpets. And although it'll be a minority of people, a minimal amount of people, he's going to look down and go, those are my kids. Look at them upholding the Feast of Trumpets the best they can. Look at that. They're doing this for me, and they're doing it on their own. Even if they have to take work off on their own for the first 3 days of Yom Teruah, which is blasting the trumpets 100 times. That's the shout. It's welcoming for a king. It's attention, Yahuwah's children. Wipe off the dust from your eyes. It's time for war, not a time for peace. If you're Yahuwah's child, it's time for war. It's not time to pass out daisies. And if there's somebody else saying something different than I am, guaranteed they have a watered down gospel. They're into watered down doctrine. They've probably gotten themselves into religion, religiousness, and churchanity. And all of those things are very different than having an actual relationship with Yahuwah. You want a relationship with Yahuwah? Celebrate his feasts and festivals and put yourself in his presence on those days, which are his days. He ordained these days. He celebrated these days himself. And because he did it, well, I definitely want to do it. If he conquered death, well, then I want to too. Well, I did in March 2007. I was strangled to death. I died, landed in hell. Yahuwah came into hell. He carried me out. And then before he pushed me back up in this world, he said, marry me. And he pushed me back up in this world, put 2 breaths of air in my nostrils. And then he said, it's now or never. It's now or never. And I went to sit up. Again, his 2 white arms were at my back and they pushed me up until I was able to get my hand on the counter and hoist the rest of my body up on my feet and run out of my apartment. He resurrected me. And it took me 7 years to figure that out. 7 years to figure out that he resurrected me. I bind and cast away doubt in Yahusha Shem Selah. He resurrected me. I was not reanimated. I was resurrected by Yahuwah putting air in my nose and making my heart beat again. And then he gave me enough strength to be able to sit up so that 180 pounds would roll off my chest. I would not have been able to sit up by myself. So, you know, when he looks down from his throne on Christmas, there's going to be all these people celebrating Christmas, but you and I aren't. But just because the whole world is celebrating Christmas or they want to make it what they want to make it does not mean that Abba is going to honor that. He tells us don't have anything to do with the pagans. And what's everybody doing? Living like the pagans, celebrating the pagan holidays, going, oh, but Holly, this is special to me. Yeah, exactly. Selfish, arrogant, egotistical you. Selfish you. What's important to you? You. What about what's important to Yahuwah? Hang on a second. This is obviously not going to be enough food for me. Yeah, no religion. We want a relationship. There is no rapture. There's only 2 resurrections. And there's a big difference between a resurrection and a rapture. There's a very big difference between a resurrection and a rapture. When you look at my profile picture with his taw on my forehead, I've already been raptured. When someone's raptured, they're overcome and showered with Yahuwah's love. They're not taken up into the sky so they can just float around in the air and not have to go through war. And then when it's done, come back down and live happily ever after. Listen, he never did that for any of his apostles. He's not going to do that for us. He never, like Enoch and Elijah, I don't look at them as being raptured. I look at them as time traveling. He's bringing Elijah and Enoch back as the 2 witnesses. They're time traveling right now. Enoch and Elijah are not sitting in heaven. Flesh does not inherit the kingdom of heaven. No flesh gets into heaven. Enoch and Elijah are not in heaven. And as far as being in the Garden of Eden, no, they're not in the Garden of Eden. No flesh is allowed in the Garden of Eden since Adam and Eve sinned in it. And Enoch and Elijah have sinned, therefore they're not in the Garden of Eden. Enoch and Elijah are time traveling right now, and pretty soon, very, very soon, they're going to show up dressed in black sackcloth in the center of Jerusalem. The elites are no longer going to have control of the weather. The two witnesses are, and I cannot wait for that. When the two witnesses are controlling the weather. Look out. Because the 7-year tribulation is Yahuwah's judgment on the non-believer, and it's a testing for us, you and me, the believer. Everybody gets tested. Job got tested. I got tested by Beelzebub. We're all going to be tested, and we're all going to go through the 7-year tribulation. There's no escaping that. Don't be scared of it. When the time comes, Abba's going to fill and overflow you and tell you what to say. You're going to feel him on the inside, and he's going to speak through you, and you're going to feel him speaking through you. So when you're face to face with that decision, the mark or else, Abba's going to be there working through you, and you're going to feel him working through you. I do follow him. But see, you're right. He won the war. Yes, he did. But you and I still got to live through it. You and I are going through the 7-year tribulation. We will be tested. There is no rapture. The bride is not the church, and scripture says it's not the church. Revelation chapter 21, verses 2, 9, and 10. Revelation chapter 21. It says the bride is the New Jerusalem. The New Jerusalem is not the church. How are a bunch of men and women inside a church going to marry Yahusha? That would be polygamy and very disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. A bunch of men marrying Yahusha. You're men. Gross. You're not the New Jerusalem. The church is not the New Jerusalem. We, you and me, are not the bride. The bride to Yahusha is the New Jerusalem. And people are not the bride to Yahusha. The church is not the bride. The bride is the New Jerusalem. And the New Jerusalem is where we live with Yahuwah forever and ever. I remember the time from before I was born here on earth. And just like the book of Melchizedek says, I was on a planet with Yahusha circling around his throne that sits on Mount Zion before I was born here on earth. I remember that time. When we die, we don't go back to where we were because you guys had your own planet and that's where you guys were too. It says it all in the book of Melchizedek. But moreover, I remember my own life and he's been guiding me. He's my rabbi. So you'll see it when my website is finished because I tell stories of my yellow-orange planet. And I encourage everybody to read my book. I have a rough draft now you can read. It's a quick read. So when I finalize it, you can reread it again. When we die, we don't go back to where we were. I'm not going back to the yellow-orange planet. When this is all said and done with after Judgment Day, I shouldn't say when we die or I die. After Judgment Day, after people are judged as either sheep or goats, that's when, if we're judged as sheep, we go on to live in the New Jerusalem with Yahuwah in the center. And that's where we live with him forever and ever, is in that New Jerusalem with him in the center. The New Jerusalem is not the church. The church is fallen and run by Satan. We are called out of her. All the Christians sit there and go, oh yeah, that verse, we're called out of her if we're his people. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. Yeah, that's talking about the Catholics. No, dumbasses. It's talking about you too. You Christians, you Baptists. What do you have? Protestant, Presbyterian, Latter-day Saints, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, Lutheran. Oh, man. Catholic. Okay, even the people from Islam, even the people in the synagogue of Satan. All of you. He's saying to all of you, come out of her, my people. Constantine was not a good guy. Constantine, who Christianized everything, was not a good guy. And he was not serving heavenly Abba. He was serving a different Eluah. I serve Yahuwah and Yahusha Shem. Constantine served something else called Jesus. And then he even asked his entity for a symbol to murder in. And that's where your cross came from. Your cross is idolatry. All your cross necklaces, bring your palms to the foot of the cross. That's idolatry. That's idolatry. We are to repent to him, not go to a cross. He's not a sign or symbol. He tells us not to have any graven images. He tells us don't bow to any gods. That's our second commandment. Don't take his name in vain is the third commandment. Keep the Saturday Sabbath is the fourth commandment. The first commandment is to love him with all your heart. Love him with all your heart. Not the guy at the pulpit. Not what the guy is selling. Not his videos and books. We're supposed to be in love with Yahuwah. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Buddhism doesn't teach anything about Yahusha. The rapture's not real. We're all going to go through the 7-year tribulation. There's no alien ascension. There's no activating your DNA to a higher level and avoiding the war. There's no Christian rapture. There's none of that. We're all going to go through the 7-year tribulation. It's testing for us believers and judgment for the non-believer. Get ready. Get right with him. Get right with him. Start living for him, and it's not too late. It's not too late right now. And so, you know what? After this, this is a holly-a-thon. I've been here for almost 3 hours. I have to go. I do have to go because I got to get productive. And, that's a really hard thing for me to do. Yeah, there's no... the New Age ascension, the alien parents are coming back for their kids. There's none of that. There's no Christian rapture. We're all going to be right here on the earth. No one's going anywhere. Yahusha never raptured anybody in the past. He's not going to do it now. And when we read Revelation, it does not read that there's a rapture. And as far as being caught in the air or catching away, that's talking about a resurrection. Not a rapture. That's talking about a resurrection. When I know what it's like to be resurrected. And when Yahuwah was putting 2 breaths of air in my nose, there was nothing else around. It was just him and me. And I felt like I was in the air. That whole passage with that whole in the air thing, caught up in the air, it's talking about a resurrection. The 144,000 were redeemed from the earth, which means they've already died and been resurrected. They already went through that process. That being redeemed from the earth is not a rapture. That means these 144,000 seals already died, and Yahuwah resurrected them in Yahusha Shem. They know who they are. And they are not 18-year-old boys over in the country of Israel. That's religiousness. And that's not how Revelation reads. If you take out the rapture and you just read scripture for what it says, he says exactly what he means. Everything will make so much sense to you if you get rid of that rapture and then go back and read scripture. If you read scripture with that rapture in mind, you're going to wind up having more questions than you started with. Nothing is going to make sense. And that's when people think, oh, Abba doesn't really mean what he says, because look, he doesn't come right out and say rapture, but he means it, says the church, says the pulpit. But when he says chop off your hand, no, he doesn't really mean it. So when he says what to do, don't listen to him. And when he doesn't say anything at all, that means make something up and then go do it. And that's what these nowadays pulpits do. Hey, Joe, it's good to see you. Wow. Right? We were in the air. Yeah, we were in the air. There was nothing around. Like, just him, me, and then once he put those breaths of air in my nose, he whispered, "It's now or never." And I'm back in this world. I'm conscious and I'm trying to sit up. So that all that, like, there's no harpazo. All that stuff that they call harpazo, that's talking about a resurrection, which means you have to die first. You don't get raptured out of here. You die first, and then you get resurrected. Yahuwah has 2 resurrections and 0 raptures. There's 2 resurrections. There's one after the 7-year tribulation is ended. He will return on a cloud. He will then resurrect the people that did not take the mark of the beast, and then he'll gather the 144,000. He will set up his literal physical reign for 1,000 years on earth. I'm going to vomit. I'm not having a good morning. I started a heavy metal detox at the wrong time of day yesterday. You know what? I gotta go. I don't feel so good. Like, I really don't feel good. I have to go and lay down. Do I need some magnets? Yeah. You know, you could have free electricity if you had enough magnets and knew how to connect them all. I'm sorry, I got like nausea and just a very ill feeling come over me. I started to not feel good yesterday, to be honest. It's the weather with my arthritis in combination, and I just have off days. And this is an off day. No, I think I'm going to lay down. I didn't really get good sleep. Yesterday, I wound up taking a nap. And then when I got up from the nap, I didn't feel very good. I didn't get anything done. I sat at my computer trying to type and trying to work, but I didn't get anything done. And then I started a heavy metal detox, but then that just gave me energy. And I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning until I put myself to sleep. And then I couldn't fall asleep. I felt like I had been up all night partying on. When I took the heavy metal detox, it gave me energy and it made me so wired that when I did turn off the computer, put myself to bed, turn off the lights and say, "That's it, Holly." I tossed and turned for 45 minutes. I felt wired. Ye. Sarim. Hello. Yeah, I feel tired. This is just another week that flew by that I didn't get done what I wanted to get done. Oh, and on my website, I got to change my notifications. But on my website, that little circle, I shouldn't say this too loud because of Max Spears' ex-girlfriend, because I had it once and I turned it off because of her. But I'm thinking that it doesn't matter because I could still block her. But either way, that little thing is to chat with me. And if I have my notifications on, we could just sit there chatting back and forth, just like Facebook Messenger. But if somebody abuses it, I will take it down. Which I already had to do that because SRA was harassing me so much. This is I'm getting my website back. It was up and going until 2021. I wish I still had it up and going because, well, anyway, I have my website back. All of my drawings and my book and my work is up on my website. Everything is copyrighted to me. And I am seeking an attorney too, like I told you guys. I saw this lady on the internet, I guess who makes it. Like I looked it up and I guess it was some lady on Etsy. I gotta look into that zeolite, tender mercies, coconut charcoal, feel better soon, very nice. Might be pushing some things out. You know what? Thank you, tender mercies. Thank you for showing me mercy. Thank you for reminding me to show myself mercy because I'm so rough on myself. You know, speaking of which, I got to get more, but maybe I should have some dandelion tea. That would help. But okay, so this is, I think, the Garden of Payton. I don't know. But it's a heavy metal detox. It's made of 80% proof vodka. But let me tell you, it has organic cilantro, spirulina, and chlorella. It's got all three of them in it. Yeah, it doesn't have anything. So, Green-Eyed Mama, that's what I'm using. I only got a 1 ounce, get a 2 ounce. But I was trying to find organic. I was trying to find a good company. I don't know if this is or not. I think it is because I can tell when it said 80% proof vodka that it definitely has the vodka, but I'm hoping it has the cilantro, spirulina, and chlorella in it because that's the only reason why I'm tolerating this stuff. But that's a heavy metal detox. So right now I'm in that 2-week break because I'm going through a parasite cleanse. You know, I wanted to wait to start that. You know what? I'm not going to take any more of that heavy metal detox. I'm just going to stop it for now and I'll wait. But I started a parasite cleanse using the wormwood, clove, and hull drops, the 3-in-1 drops, and I was using charcoal as the binder. And it's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on. I'm on that 2 weeks off right now. I could do my body a favor. You know what I should do too is I should put some mullein in this. You know what? I'll just have 2 cups of tea. I'll have this and then I'll make another cup of mullein tea. The homeowner had chopped down fresh mullein Here it is. So you know what? I'll make mullein tea later for my lungs and sinuses. And then I'll make my dandelion. There's so much I wish I could tell you guys. I can't. But what I can say is this. My whole yard where I live, nothing but dandelions galore. And Heavenly Abba and I have a fuzzball game. You know the fuzzballs that go floating off in the air? You know, like the dandelions? They'll turn into like those white fuzzballs. I'll go flying across the yard to catch those fuzzballs. Well, those Abba and I, we have a street sign game. We have a quarter game. We have a bunch of games. Like the street sign game gets me out of trouble. Because when I'm in trouble, Abba will direct my eyes to certain signs and street signs, and he'll tell me if I'm in trouble. And if I'm in trouble, I got to get out of there. But we have a fuzzball game. And we have a 4-leaf clover game. When I'm in serious demonic attack, I will find 4-leaf and 5-leaf clovers like they're going out of style. But when I'm in serious attack, I used to think finding them was good luck. It's not. When I find 4-leaf clovers, it's a sign of fierce attack. A ton of mercury fillings. Yeah, they took out my mercury fillings and I got pissed. So yeah, the dandelions, they could name this place after the dandelions, but my whole yard is dandelions. But as far as the game, like when I see the dandelions, I'll catch them and I'll be like, Abba, that's a kiss from heaven, but I'm going to send it back to you. And my hugs, love, and kisses right back to you. And then I'll blow it up. And I'll try to blow it so it floats up to him. And then when I'm out hiking the dog around the lake, there's like these tall bushes and they have like the fuzz balls on them. So like I'll pick from the bush and then I'll be like, but this is my love and hugs and kisses right back at you. I hope they float up to heaven put my love and hugs in bubbles. And we'll have like the fuzz balls as a symbol of my prayers going up to you, but this is my love and hugs to you. And then I blow it up to him, the fuzz balls, and I'll tell him like, Abba, don't let my prayers bump into anybody else, because the bubbles containing my love, hugs, and kisses for you, if they bump into another angel on their way getting to you, they might pop on the angel, and I don't want any other angels getting my love, kisses, and hugs. I don't want them getting it when it's meant for you. So you got to keep your eye out for all those bubbles I'm sending you. And got all yellow. I got to try that. I always pray for a bigger heart after Abba than David did. I pray for wisdom like Solomon had, but I ask Abba to stay with me because I don't want to make the same mistakes as Solomon. And I've made lots of mistakes over the past, not intentional, but I have made them. And I've asked to walk closer to him than Enoch's walk next to him. I told him, I was like, Abba, I want to know everything. I know that you said you were only going to tell Enoch everything, but I want to know everything too. Like, at least tell me everything I need to know right now. But I'm hoping that when him and I are reunited, that he'll, I hope I did not burn out this coil. I hope that he tells me everything. But apparently Enoch is the only human that's going to know everything, because Abba said only Enoch is going to know everything. You know what I want to know? Revelation. Always. Always, always, always. And that's all I've ever wanted to know is Revelation, because I want to know what's going to happen. And Revelation lays it all out. It lays it all out. As far as like all of these school shootings going on, like, who cares about prophesying that? We need to be prophesying Yahuwah's movements. What is he doing? What's going on with him? If this situation is not of him, then why is this situation happening? What's the truth behind it? We've been so distracted by everything. And this shooting with Charlie Kirk, do you know what it covers up? It covers up the country of Israel being guilty for 9/11, the Zionist agenda being shoved down our throats. Those Jews, those Zionists and Talmudists and Zoharian people, I won't say Jews, the Talmudists, the Zohar, the people into the Talmud, Zohar, and the Zionists, those people into those things, they hate us. They want the Christians to give them money, but they never support the Christians. They want and why is our country sending the country of Israel all of our tax dollars? I need help. My friends, the American citizens, need help. And we're sending Israel how much money? They've already got enough. They just committed genocide. That's what Charlie Kirk's shooting covered up. I fell down the Zionist rabbit hole and I found out the truth about World War III. And oh yeah, I want World War III. But the thing is when we go into World War III this time, Yahusha's going to return and he's going to get rid of them all. He's going to get rid of them all. Now, there is a Zionist agenda, and it's horrible. It's the agenda that says Adolf killed 6 million Jews, Stalin killed 6 million Jews, and Ukraine killed 6 million Jews. But meanwhile, there was a problem with 6 million Jews before Adolf Hitler ever got into power. And then once Adolf Hitler escaped Nazi Germany via World War paperclip, he did not commit suicide in a bunker in Belgium or whatever. He escaped through Project Paperclip. There were still 6 million Jews afterwards. In fact, the Jewish population grew in size throughout World War II. Hitler put 373,000 people through those gas chambers. The Holocaust was real. But it was not just Jews that were killed. It was other people too. But there's a Zionist agenda that's being crammed down our throats. When I found it out, oh, the flack I got. Oh, I know who I am in Abba. Well, you obviously don't know who Abba is if you're just going to bless the country of Israel blindly when it has committed genocide. I don't think that's being a child of Yahuwah. I think that's being a child of Satan. Now, as far as the Holy Land, I barak the Holy Land, I barak Yahuwah's people, but Bibi and his friends, they are not chosen by Abba. Ben Shapiro is not chosen by Abba. Oh yeah, they're chosen by God. God Real. That God, yes, they're chosen. But they, like Ben Shapiro and Bibi, they are not chosen by Yahuwah. They are not Yahuwah's chosen people at all. They're the Khazars that stole somebody else's identity. And now they're trying to say they're from the tribe of David when they're not. The people over in Palestine are the people from Abba's 12 tribes. Those are our siblings that just got genocided. Those are the people that were a part of the 12 tribes of Israel, the people in Palestine that just got genocided. That's how much you and I have been lied to. Every single thing we know is a complete and utter lie. And why did they do this thing with Charlie Kirk? To cover up the fact of how evil the country of Israel is, and so is America. I repent for my country's sins. Cover that up. Put the country into shock by making the country think that Charlie Kirk died, and then lead everybody around while they're in a state of heightened emotions. When they're all upset in an emotional roller coaster. This was done on purpose. The third temple is going to be built. Trump's going to make sure of it. I don't know why Trump's protecting all of these people. Why is Trump protecting all the people that hurt kids? I made a video. I put it on private. I should have kept it public. And I called it, I Feel Duped. Not only by Daubenmire and what happened there. Honey, you're being too vocal. Shut up about the fact you were just raped. Don't tell me that's a man of Yahuwah. That's a man of God rail. That's for sure. But not Yahuwah. So anyway, thought we were supposed to expose evil. I thought when we were hurt, we were supposed to ask for help. I ask for help and I get told to shut up. What was I saying before that? Got off on a tangent. That stuff really hurt me. It really hurt me. I'm glad that I was able to move past it. And the only reason why I bring up that stuff with Coach is because at one time those people meant a lot to me. I lost over 40 friends when I was called out of that ministry. And then for him to say that I'm lying about him, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not a liar. Yahuwah knows it. And so do people that know Yahuwah. I was talking about something else. Let's get back on to the lying Jews. The third temple is going to be built. Trump's going to get it done. People like Ben Shapiro are not God's God rails. People like Ben Shapiro are God rails chosen, but not Yahuwah's. There's a big difference. There's a very big difference. The nation of Israel is who you and I are. If anybody should be living in that holy land, it's the people a part of the 12 tribes. Except for some of the Palestinians, nobody else has a right to be on that holy land. No, not in my opinion. No, they don't. Besides the Palestinians, the only other people that should have a right to live there are Abba's actual children and servants, the actual tribesmen, not the people that steal our identities, because Bibi and his friends, they've stolen our identities. They're trying to say that they're chosen and they have a right to that land. They're not chosen, and that land was never given to them. It's the nation of Israel. And on a technicality, Palestine has right to that land. It was given to Palestine. Don't get mad at me. I didn't do any of it. I'm just learning the facts. And that's what it was, is when I learned the facts, oh my goodness, people gave me a hard time. Oh, but Holly, no, I'm not going to bless the country of Israel when they're doing all of these wrong things. Oh, Holly, they're not responsible for 9/11. No. Well, then what the hell happened to Jeffrey Epstein? He's not dead. Oh, Holly, I believe he's dead. Well, he's not dead, and neither is Charlie Kirk. And you guys are, not you in my chat room, but you guys aren't doing anything. Blessing a bunch of people that committed genocide. If you think blessing a bunch of people that just committed genocide is going to get you into heaven, think again. We have been brainwashed and programmed to bless the country of Israel and think, oh, poor Israel, that's God's chosen. No, it's Gadrael's chosen. But as far as Yahuwah, those people are not chosen. Yahuwah's chosen people are the people that Yahuwah himself picks out. So Yahuwah's going to come to you and go, green-eyed mama, I choose you. This is what I choose you for. Joe, this is my plan for your life. You're my kid. Okay, that's what makes you his people. They're trying to say that they're his people just because they're Jews or because they live on that land, but they don't have any type of relationship with him. They're not his kids. Most of those, the Jews over in Israel, don't believe in Yahusha. The Hasidic Jews say that they're nice. Yeah, they're only nice to their own kind. They spit on you and me. Those people that have the little tiny hats on, they think they're better than everybody else, and they think that they're God's chosen, and because they think they're God's chosen, they think that they're the most important thing that walked the face of the earth. But the thing is they're God rails chosen. They're not Yahuwah's chosen, and they're not the most important people that walk the face of the earth. You know who the most important people are that walk the face of the earth? Well, it was only Yahusha HaMashiach, Yahusha Mashiach. That was the only important person that ever walked the face of the earth, was Yahusha himself. The rest of us are equal to one another. You experience it every single time you do errands, their meanness. Yeah, I know, they're not nice. They're only nice to their own kind. It's like a cult. You know, the Mormons think that they're chosen too. The Mormons think that when they die, they get their very own planet to live on. We came from our own planets, then we were born on Earth, but when we die, we go and live in the New Jerusalem if we're judged as sheep. We don't go back to where we were. The Mormons got it all screwed up. But then Zionism, when you look down that rabbit hole of what really happened during World War II and the Zionist agenda, you're going to realize how much you've been lied to, and your jaw's going to be on the floor, and you're going to want World War III too. The problem is the Rothschilds finance both sides of the war, so. But this is going to be the last war that humans have. The fight between Yahusha and Satan, that does not come yet. What we have right now, our enemies are the beasts of the sea and the beasts of the land, their legions and friends, and a 7-year tribulation cycle. The battle with Yahusha and Satan, that does not come for well over 1,000 years. We've got 2 battles, folks, not one. And we're not fighting Satan during this battle. Satan passes his authority over to the beast of the sea. And then Satan runs away like a little coward and hides. When Yahusha returns, he takes the beast of the sea and the beast of the land, casts them into the pit of fire and brimstone, and then he grabs Satan. He ties him in chains with the rest of his buddies and throws him in hell. And Satan is subjected to Yahusha reigning over him for 1,000 years. Satan's going to hate that. Now there's 4 fallen angels under the river of Euphrates, and pretty soon their chains are going to break. And leading up to them being released, lawlessness is going to abound. Murders, rapes, lies, thieves, war. All of that is going to escalate. It's a prelude to their release. But Satan is running the world right now. He's alive and fine. He's not chained up. He's alive and fine. He's been here running the place the whole time. There were 200 angels that fell. And people don't know who their enemy is. And that's a problem. Because they're going to perish. I need money. I'm going to go food shopping. I need money. Hot. All right, so in a month, I'm going to be squeaky clean and healthy. Between my parasite detox and heavy metal detox. I'm already like feeling better from the detoxes. Hey, it's Golden Coin. I haven't seen you in forever. Hey, Jen, how are you? When leaving temple, they will work right into that. Oh my gosh. I believe that green-eyed mama. And where's a cop when you need one? It's like, pull that horrible driver over. You know, so it's Zionism. I'm not saying that everybody's like that. I'm talking specifically about the Zionists, the ones into the Talmud, the ones into the Zohar, the ones that convert. They're only nice to their own kind. They're not nice to people like you and I. Hooli, the Empress Hooli. Where are my nukes? I'm okay. Get my website. I got my website back. I should have had it announced by now and up and running, but of course I missed my deadlines 2 times. I missed Friday's deadline, I missed Monday's deadline, and I stopped setting deadlines. So I'll get my website up, hollybaglio.com. I just got to get up to 125 descriptions, some more links to my broadcast on internet radio on Spirit Force. Rearrange in the section, my bubble dreams. I need to upload 5 more drawing photos, rearrange them, and then I'm done. I've got part of the 125 descriptions already written out. I have to write a couple of them. For the most part, I just have to copy, paste, rearrange, make it look good. So hollybaglio.com. And then after that, I am going to be working on my autobiography. And the deadline right now is set for September 30th. That's what the deadline is set at right now. We'll see what happens when we get there. But I'm really pushing to have all of these things done. Oh, and then this Saturday, I'm taking a free course if you want to join me. It's a free online course. It's about 508C1As. We always hear about 501C3s. Well, I'm going to learn about 5081CAs. I'm taking a course to learn about it. Once I learn what the hell it is, I'll let you know what it is. But I need to educate myself on business law and some tax accounting procedures. And then I'm going to be ready to go. Yeah, the completion. I'm going to feel great when my autobiography is completed. I'm looking at mid-October to have my autobiography completed and sent in for its 3rd set of copyrights. But yeah, now I can give a full and clearer picture of who I am, what's going on. I'm fully reintegrated, so I can tell my story a lot more coherently than before, because before I had the alters, I would have to wait for Zelensky to have a sense of humor. You know, but now being fully reintegrated, I don't have to wait for the alters to come forward. I have access to all of my memories right here and now. I'm like one whole operating unit. So Zelensky can be Zelensky all the time. Yes. Yep, hollybaglio.com. your legs, they deny it, and then they try to make you grateful when they give you crutches, right? They break your legs, deny it, and then make you try to feel grateful when they give you crutches. Yeah. Yeah. It's always like that too. Well, I gave you a place to live, Holly. I brought you into my house. Yeah, but you also called the cops on me and got me kicked out of my last house because I told you I didn't want to call the cops on the ex who broke my face and attacked me a second time with a friend, and you went against me and called the cops anyway. So now that I got kicked out, I didn't have a choice but to live with you. It's your fault that you had to give me a place to live to begin with. If you kept your nose out of my business, I wouldn't have to live with you. I should have left my dandelion tea bag sitting in there. I didn't need to take them out. I could just left them sitting in there. I'm praying for the pain medicine for the pain I caused. All right, what time is it? Wow, 12:10. Okay, I better get going. I've been up since 5:30. I did not get to the laundromat. I think I look okay enough to run a video. My Feast of Trumpets video. I took a shower last night. I haven't done anything. I just slept on my hair. I look nice enough to run a video, right? I could just brush my hair and spruce it up and it'll look fine. So I'll run my Feast of Trumpets video later today. And then be working on my website to get it finished. And then I'll be working on my autobiography. I'm looking forward to finishing my website because the second I'm done with my website, I'm sending out letters to land interview. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Green-Eyed Mama. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I think it's because I took my heavy metal detox at night, and I should take it in the morning. I think it gave me energy, and it kept me wired, so I could not sleep last night. Christian, no name, hello. All right, beautiful, fine folks, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for hanging out with me on this Holly-a-thon. That's 3.5 hours I could have had at my computer, and I could have had my website done by now. All right, I love you, beautiful, fine folks. I'll talk to you later.